Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's yours live. It's time!
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How are we doing tonight? My name is Chris. These are our guests, Hauser and Piglet, joining me this Sunday night for Sunday Night Football. I hope you're enjoying your weekend and a Week 7 of the NFL. We are chilling, hanging out with a great game so far, depending on who you're talking to. But welcome in. We have a awesome. It was a weird day of football, guys. It was a weird day of football, and especially if you're a Broncos fan like me, it was a wild day. But we survived. I don't know how I survived, but I did. But now we get to have Hauser and Piglet figure out how the night's going to end for them. So, welcome in, Hauser. Hit Piglet. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing all right.
Doing good so far.
Good.
We got the lead, so of course I'm doing good.
Yeah. Well, we got the San Francisco 49ers who, obviously are dealing with like literally every injury. I think I saw a Twitter post somewhere where there was people decorating out in their yard of like a blue tent, one of those blue tents on the sideline, and they had just skeletons with 49ers jerseys chilling, going into the tent, which, it's not wrong. It's pretty accurate. So
I've seen something like that. I've also seen like different reels where like people are pushing out wheelchairs full of skeletons with jerseys on, and yeah.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But hey, people are having fun with it. So that's something. But even still, the 49ers right now doing some solid things given the circumstances at 4-2, so you can't be super upset with that.
No, I'm definitely not upset right now. And conveniently, I believe in my fantasy, I'm also 4-2. So
yeah, see, you're cruising along in fantasy as well. So there you go. And then Hauser, how you doing, man? So you got your Falcons coming in. How you feeling so far about this first half? How you feeling about this game?
Not great, Bob. I think Divine Diablo, who was ruled out, I think with a forearm injury, that's really hurting us on defense. He's a big part of our defense, especially against the run. And
we're losing Hauser a little bit. I think we lost Hauser for a sec.
Oh.
See if we get him back here. But we'll see what his thoughts were here in a second. So yeah. Crazy week 7. As people are saying, chat, welcome into the chat, everybody. We got Polo. Thank you, Polo, by the way, who starts the hype train going. Subscribe for 3 months out of tier 1. Appreciate you. Let's go. Man. Polo, thank you for.
Go, Polo.
Let's go. Sergeant, we got Brendan. We got all of you guys hanging out in the chat. We got a hype train going. So welcome. Diacola's in the chat. How we doing? Hauser, you were mentioning you were in the middle of your thought. What were you finishing up to say?
Sorry, I think I had like a connectivity issue or something. But
all good. All good.
Divine Diablo was ruled out with a forearm injury, and also not having Jalen, one of our rookies on the D line.
Ooh, big return here though for Atlanta.
Is going to be difficult on the defense, I think, because we're having issues stopping the run without them in the game.
A 46-yard return on that kick for Atlanta to set up in really solid field position right here off of this last kick. So big play there coming in on this special teams play. So there you go. It's starting to turn around a little bit for Atlanta. Michael Penix right now, 13 for 19, 128 yards right now. How are we feeling about Penix right now?
Penix has been doing great. I think this game is something that I wanted to see how he was going to do, especially on the road. Like playing on the road is it's definitely it's harder than playing at home for sure. So I wanted to see how what he's going to do in this game specifically. But yeah, so we'll have to see. Like a stat that is really surprising to me is if you look at his stats in the fourth quarter is really when he just like things just click for him. Like he has the number 1 QBR of all quarterbacks in the NFL in the fourth quarter.
Which is, hey, you'll take that. I mean, fourth quarter magic, that's when you want your quarterback to be good, right? That's when you want, like, you can have a quarterback that's great for the first 3 quarters, but if they can't close out the game, I think that's where you kind of question, right? That clutch gene, that can you get back into it, or can you just continue to like be, solid for your team when it matters the most in the game? And so you'll take that. You'll take that. Yeah. Mine's weird though. So Bo Nix had some fourth quarter magic, but the first 3 quarters was definitely the opposite of magic. I'll tell you that. And I don't know how to feel about it, but we at least both of our teams have a little bit of that with a young quarterback somehow, some way. He also has a good defense to kind of keep making plays when it matters too. So, but yeah, it's been a weird day. And then in the chat, we got, wait, where's Scott? Scott is actually coming back from Kansas City. Remember, he took he took my nephew, his son, to his first ever Kansas City game in KC to watch the Kansas City Chiefs shut out the Las Vegas Raiders. So congrats to him. He had a great time. I got a lot of pictures. So yeah, it's good to see that they had a blast in his first experience. What's up, Garlic Twitch? What's up? How we doing? Who's your team and where you're from? Like to get to know you a little bit better. Welcome in on a Sunday night. Let's go. Broncos, never a doubt, right? It was never a doubt. It was never a doubt.
Roger.
I felt good that whole game. What are you talking about? It was, let's just say, a roller coaster of a day for me. How's that devil magic feeling? It's feeling just right. It's hitting just right. Speaking of fourth quarter, isn't that a form of child abuse? Poisoning that poor child's mind? Yeah, agreed. I would say so. I mean, it's not my child. I'm not condoning what he's done with that, but it is what it is. Chairman, welcome in, Chairman. Good to see you. 13-3 right now. San Francisco still in the lead. 7 minutes in this game, or in this third quarter, I should say. 2nd and 2 coming up for the Atlanta Falcons. And so, yeah, we'll see what they can do on this drive. Keep this a little bit closer. Drake London is being highlighted right now. He's been having some great games recently. I mean, he's been all over the place, Hauser. Shotgun here for Penix. Throws right, breaks through, and that is a touchdown. Atlanta Falcons get Bijan Robinson into the fold here on this scoring drive. 5 plays, 48 yards, taking 3:41 off the clock, and we have a little bit of a game now. Here we go, 3-point game.
Very nice.
So,
thank God.
you needed that one. You needed that. Bijan, by the way, Bijan's been so solid, man. I'm not going to lie. I've really loved watching. He's probably one of my favorite players to watch right now. If I were to pick, the most dynamic, we've talked a little bit about, Saquon's great. He's like a physical specimen. But Bijan is just, the way he dances, the way he makes people miss. his finesse in how he runs and jukes and everything. It's just a thing of art, a thing of beauty. In the chat here, we got 0-6 in fantasy and projected to lose with 125 plus points and 2 players left, says Garlic. Sorry, Garlic. That's a tough one. Also have Kittle and Gainwell. Well, Kittle isn't exactly popped off, really, right? I mean, we haven't seen too much. What's up, Riley? How we doing? My girl Piglet made it. Piglet's in the house, that's for sure. Are you rocking your Jake Moody jersey in there?
I am.
Yeah, Jake Moody.
My Jake Moody jersey. I know you can't see the back, but this is compliments of Action Lab. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yeah, you win a contest with us, and then you get to rep some of the gear that we get you for winning. So
There you go.
even though Jake Moody is moved on, so to speak, but
Can we not talk about that?
Oh, and look who's in the chat. Scotty A. Smith, first time caller. Who do you guys think? Oh no, here we go.
First time caller, long time listener.
Not the Chiefs, that's for sure, says Riley.
Right.
I mean, we definitely, based off of what they did to, this bad Raiders team. No, congrats. I'm glad Landon had a great time watching the boys get a dub today. So I'm sure he had it was awesome.
I'm sure that was a great game to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was, especially against the Raiders. You could always love a win against the Raiders any day of the week. Patrick is a massive fraud, says Evil. Yeah. Evil always coming in. I love it. Evil always trying to just bait Scotty into rage every single week. It's always a great thing.
I'm sorry. Does he need to be baited into rage?
No. It usually just happens generally, but it goes a little extra hard. The problem is Evil's done it so much that Scotty's just immune to it at this point.
True. Chairman, yes, I am from Cali. I am in Central California.
Send some folks from Scotty's house to check on the boy. Yeah, we have to figure that out for sure. What else? It's like a running joke. Yeah, it's always a running joke here, every single time. But it is a lot quieter. We won't be hearing a lot of Chiefs talk this week on the stream, so we're gonna actually get through it a lot quicker in that regard. So there's that, and we won't be talking about the Steelers for like 45 minutes either. So that's good. We get wins all over the place, guys. I mean, we're you guys. It's going to be a lot quieter of a show than you're used to, and you can just kind of actually get some words in here.
I don't know. I don't know. I took the Steelers in my super context, and I regret that decision.
Did I? I don't remember. I have to pull mine up. I don't remember if I did. Okay. So I can't get used to Las Vegas Raiders. That just doesn't work for me because Cali. But I have a hatred for the Niners, the Raiders. Oh my goodness. For the Raiders and for the Chiefs. So I had a really hard time choosing which one do I pick this week. It's like, which one do I hate less? And I did go with Kansas City, so you're welcome, Scotty.
There you go. Swing pass out to the right for McCaffrey, battling for a first down, gets it, and then out of bounds with 5:38, 3-point game. Atlanta trails as San Francisco starts moving the ball down this on this drive here. 7 yards, first down for the Niners. Scotty A. Smith, these bots are getting creative with names. Yeah. True. I don't know. Do we need to ban this one? We should probably ban this one. There's no way it's real. That's for sure.
That motherfucker
real.
Nope, not real. It's not real. Handoff here. Battling on 3rd and 1 and comes up behind the first down line. So 4th down coming up for San Francisco here.
I think
good stop.
One of the things I love is like our defense is young. They are. I think it's something that we have. It's been God. I'd have to do research and see. Like I didn't have time to actually look this up to see like when was the. It has to be, we're talking about decades when we were even like because right now. I mean, we actually like obviously we have some guys that are out with injury, but like the fact that you hear like the Falcons have the number 1 total defense, like I couldn't even tell you when that happened. Like I don't even know if that's ever happened at all, like ever.
I mean,
so I'm very thankful that it's it's something that we're not used to seeing at all. Like we're used to just like, if we're lucky, like. Maybe we can have a defense somewhere in the teens, like, but we're usually somewhere in like the late 20s.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to be able to close that gap, right? To be able to get a little bit better on like the defensive side of the ball. Like you'll always take that. I mean, defense, for a team that like the Atlanta Falcons just goes a long way, right? And then it definitely helps out a young quarterback like Penix who can. Take advantage and have a defense that's actually helping him out,
Mm-hmm.
That's a big piece of it.
Yeah, it was a huge hire that we were able to bring in Jeff Ulbrich as our defensive coordinator for sure.
Chairman says, I'm an old school Falcons fan. Saw Steve Barkowski play the 49ers at Fulton County Stadium. Old school, Chairman.
Wow.
Old school.
Wow.
That stadium isn't even in existence anymore. It's just a parking lot.
It's gone. Just dating yourself there, Chairman. You're just dating yourself there. But that's awesome. We also have a bingo board that we got going on here in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. If you guys want to take a look, you can see some of the items that are available for us to get on our bingo board. That we can get X's on that will create 4 in a row and a bingo, which means we would be giving out subs to the community. I'm not going to lie. I haven't looked at a single one of these squares. Rec put these together before the show started. And so I have no idea where we're at in any of these. So I'll be taking a look at this periodically. And chat, you can help us out too. Let us know what we have in an X. Some of them are small. I don't know why Rec's putting paragraphs into these boxes. But he is. So I'll have to look at some of these. But we'll figure this out. Kicker points. We have over 45.5. We have, what else do we have here? Bourne and London, 125 receiving yards. That's one of the small ones. Penix and Jones, 4+ total touchdowns. Bijan touchdown, which we got off the board. I know that.
Yep.
We'll take that one off. Pitts, under 3.5 receptions. How many receptions does Pitts have right now? So
I think that might be over.
Let's go. We could check some of these stats here. Figure it out. Put out the rec signal. Yeah, Rec told me he was like, oh, yeah, I might not. By the way, I'm not probably going to join the show tonight. So there's that. I'm just like, what? Rec, not showing up to work tonight. I see how it is.
Kyle Pitts has 6 receptions, so that is a no.
Okay, so Rec already crushing the bingo board for you guys, you know? Freaking Rec. Here we go. He's ruining the show and he doesn't even have to be here, you know? And it's just how
Right.
he's talented in that sense, you know? Is Rec overseas again? He might as well be. He might as well be.
Maybe he's in Nashville. That's overseas enough for me.
Yeah, that might as well be in a different, you know? But put out the Rec signal. Don't even know what that looks like.
I don't want to look.
All right. So the Falcons taking over here on this drive. We are currently, and my feed is going in and out. So I'm at 2nd and 13 with 346 and counting, or 342 and counting. So I might be behind some of you guys, but
You're ahead of me by a couple seconds.
okay. See, so I'm not in a terrible spot here. We're good.
I refreshed and now I'm caught up.
Penix looks, throws, incomplete. 3rd and 13 will be coming up here with 3:27 in the third quarter. So we talked a lot about Atlanta, San Francisco. How are you feeling, Piglet, in the division? I mean, you're looking across the division. You have some. I mean, the division's looking pretty competitive a little bit here between some of the teams at the top. What are your thoughts on some of the other teams that are in the division?
I haven't even looked to see where we fall this year. For this.
So currently, as far as the NFC West goes, you have the Rams at 5-2, you guys and Seattle at 4-2, Cardinals at 2-5. Obviously, the Cardinals aren't going to probably be as competitive this season, but the fact that you have a 5-2 and 2 4-2 teams in that NFC West, you know, it's pretty tight.
Yeah, I'm okay with where the position is right now. I like to see the Rams obviously not be in first. I'm doing okay. Yeah. I'm just looking at the stats here.
Meanwhile,
that
5-2. Yeah.
That game this morning did not go the way I thought it was going to
go. No.
Which one? The Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rams game.
I figured the Rams, Rams have to travel, Rams have further to travel, they're not going to have Puka Nacua. I felt like it was a good formula for the Jags, but nope.
Well, and the interesting part is typically we've seen a lot of the European games not really scoring a ton of points. It wasn't really.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the Rams of all teams to be putting up the points that they did. Jacksonville's defense is pretty competitive too. I feel like they're a pretty solid defense in the grand scheme of things. Whoa, and then we had reaching for the first down, Drake London, I believe, on the catch. Let's see where they spot this. They spot it. It looks like a first down. So you do have a first down here for Atlanta. Let's see if he extends this ball. Yeah.
One-handed.
Wow. What a clutch catch there by Drake London to keep this going. I didn't expect the Rams to explode on the Jacksonville defense as much as they did, especially with the Puka injury. Didn't know if, how that was going to, play into it offensively for the Rams. But Sean McVay finds a way, and they end up. I mean, there's a lot of weird games today in the sense that the first part of the day, and we'll recap all these games later on after this game is over, but there was a lot of there was only one game, I think this after the morning slate of games, that was like a one possession game at one point towards the end of those games. I think all of them were kind of out of reach for a lot of the teams that didn't end up getting, super competitive. So kind of a strange morning slate. The afternoon slate was a lot better. That's for sure. Atlanta, Penix running for his life, gets tackled, incomplete. Lot of pressure there coming from the San Francisco defense there. Lucas with the pressure and breaking up that play. 3rd down coming up here for the Falcons. It's a Raven crapping on steel, laying in a brown mud. You're covering all the bases there of the AFC North. That's for sure. You're covering all the bases there. Sergeant, Cardinals are scrappy. Scrappy with Brissett, maybe. I don't know. The Cardinals, we kind of disowned them when they gave up all those a couple weeks ago. The way they lost that other game, it was a rough one. Flag out on the play here for Atlanta. Well, on this drive. We'll see who the flag is on once they referees figure out what's going on here. Looks like we have delay of game on the offense with 1:11 left in the third quarter. Delay of game. Let's see the play clock here. 2-1. Yep, couldn't quite get it off in time. Not a great outcome on that one. Now that brings up a 3rd and 14 coming up for Atlanta, making it a little bit tougher there. So flags. Flags are penalties impacting this drive a little bit. See if Penix can convert on this 3rd and 14. 3rd and incomplete. San Francisco gets a stop here. All right. So there you go. So the Falcons come up empty on this drive. Incomplete to Washington was the intended target there.
Was it today's game that Mahomes was cursing, saying that the play never effing worked?
Yeah, that was one of the and it was part of like the design of how they wanted to put that up there too. It was like in the broadcast of that Kansas City Chiefs game. Yeah, it's like this play doesn't ever effing work, and then they make it sound like, all right, well, that didn't go the way we wanted to, and then they snap the ball and it works exactly in the favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. So Andy Reid and the Chiefs and company end up getting a little bit of a fun play out there, which, by the way, yeah, you heard that loud and clear on the broadcast for everybody across the country.
Yeah. I saw clips from it and I was like, oh, wow. Hot mic.
Totally.
Good.
Did you guys have you guys been watching games all day? What was like the biggest takeaway from any of the games or some of, well, obviously we had the Chiefs had some funny moments there with that play and like they just had that blowout, but any other games that stood out to you today?
I'm sure like has your heart rate recovered?
No.
I'm sure the craziest game was your game.
That was the craziest roller coaster of a game I could have imagined. And like we had the initial game of the year, I would say, was the Buffalo Bills and what was it? Bills and Ravens? Was it Bills and Ravens? Where the Bills came back, and that was just an insane start. I think that was Sunday Night Football week 1. I can't remember. But I would say the finish of the game today was one of the craziest games I've been able to witness in recent years as a Broncos fan, and probably one of the craziest games I could recall as a Broncos fan in a long time. Like that was, I don't know how we pulled that game out after the start that we had. After how, my heart exploded like 3 times over the course of the end of that game. Probably just the Chiefs clearly being the best team. Of course, Scotty. Of course. See, he doesn't even. Isn't it great we don't have to worry about it on hear it on the actual stream? Love you, Scotty. Broncos one are still clearly awful. Hey, the defense. Hey, they found a way to win. I don't know what didn't work in the Colts game and what didn't work in those couple games off the top. The fortunes flipped a little bit. So see, we get one, we lose one, we get one back. So we'll take it. I have a lot to talk about that game because I will say to be shut out going into the fourth quarter, 19-0 with nothing going right. The defense didn't look as good. The offense looked awful. And then somehow to come back in that game and win that game tonight, it was just I I don't smoke cigarettes, but I wanted to just walk outside. Like, I wanted to go outside and just rip a cigarette and just take a breath, because that's how I felt after that game. It was just exhausting.
It's like that meme of Ben Affleck outside with a cigarette.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt. But you know what? Like, the Giants didn't close out the game. And so, you know, you could say all you want about, the Broncos had a rough game, this and that, but somehow, some way, I mean, the turning point was the turnover, the interception on the Giants side of the field that put the Broncos in a position after they scored to get it back and score quickly again. And it definitely was something that the defense was a big part of at that point that really turned the tides. That was the biggest change in that game that really gave them life. Without that, I don't think they are in that position.
But also, Scotty says that the Broncos are the worst, but yet they're ahead of the Chiefs in the standings. So how does?
I mean, that's true. You're not wrong. The Chiefs are looking up. You know, I will say the Chiefs. I mean, I'm like Rashee Rice coming back had a big impact today for the Chiefs. So I'm like, all right. Like their offense is going to be in a good spot. They're going to be clicking a little bit. So that's going to be something we'll have to deal with, especially with their, you know, like this is the best wide receiver core the Chiefs have had. But I will say, you know, it'll be an interesting division. I will say that. It'll be an interesting division. The Chargers losing helps a little bit too. Chargers losing helps. All the Broncos did today was worse than a draft pick next year. Well, you know, I mean, they're 5-2, and some of those could have gone different ways, but they didn't. They lost those couple games. It is what it is. But you know, it goes both ways. I have a lot to talk about that game, though. So we will come back after this game is over and recap all those games. Piglet, she's coming back. I feel like we'll get her back here shortly. Also, Packers ended up getting a win over the Cardinals today. Again, Cardinals just...
That was another close game.
That was another...
Crazy.
Yeah. The Cardinals game was... that. I mean, but the afternoon slate this afternoon was a lot more entertaining than I would say the first part of the morning. I think there was like... the only close games in the early games were the Panthers and Jets, who, you know, who cares? And then you had the Eagles and Vikings, which that could have gone a lot of different ways. That didn't look as good as, at least for my best bet on the Minnesota Vikings, who I felt, I feel like I was on the right side on. Just couldn't find a way to cover with all of those red zone trips. Minnesota just loves kicking field goals, you know? Loves kicking field goals. Let's see, what do we got? Sky shows up trash talking in the comments. He can't get away, you know? He has to he has to get his fix.
He told his son, "Hey, we gotta pull over."
You know,
he's gotta wave the flag.
He's got to get his fix in. You know, he's like he's itching. He's just like, give me. I need a trash talk. I need some outlet for my trash talk tonight. We got you, Scotty. As long as you want to hang out in the chat, we got you. 10-13 here. Yeah, go ahead.
I saw somebody trying to ban him earlier too. I think it was your mom.
Yeah, she's always just ban him. Yeah.
Well, now you're banned.
Exactly. We'll just ban him. We'll be good. They're showing here some Mac Jones. Man, Mac Jones pictures in the locker room. Got a cigar, dad bod, all in tow. Love that. As they get going here, 2nd and 8.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. By the way, dad bods tend to be pretty solid in the NFL. I mean, ask Tom Brady. What ultimate dad bod that always won games, Unfortunately, I had to deal with watching the Patriots win all those games. So Mahomes had a dad bod when he was winning his championships. It's a thing, More cushion for all those tackles. Jones continuing on here, 3rd and 3 on this drive. Kind of a low-scoring Sunday night football game, though. Jones drops back, looking downfield. Big throw.
Ooh. Moonball.
And, ooh, I felt like that was in his arms for a quick second.
It was briefly.
And got...
Oh, no. It fell through.
Dislodged as... Let's see the replay here. That's a catchable ball. That's a catchable ball there that should have been reeled in.
Right through.
And what a good throw, though, by Jones. Yeah. Everyone on the Niners. Kittle can't believe it. Jones doesn't look happy about that. And that's going to lead to a San Francisco punt here as they kick it away to the Falcons.
When Brock went out, I was kind of worried. But I kind of like that the way Jones has stepped up and has been able to perform with the team.
Let's see. Simply pointing out what everyone's terrified to admit: the Chiefs are the best team. Diacola, they played the Raiders. Yeah, like Scott.
They played.
Yeah, just like Scotty's like, oh, the Broncos played the Jets. Like, they played this team. It's like, yeah, they beat them. It's fine, whatever. Or they beat some of these bad teams early on. It is what it is.
Playing a high school team.
You beat a bad team. Now I know the Jets game was a little closer than it probably should have been, rightfully so. But it is what it is. It's a win. Get that dub. So yeah, it is. We'll take it. But yeah, it was the Raiders, Scotty. It was the Raiders. We'll take a look at some of our bingo board here. Over 45.5 looks a little rough. Do we have a Floyd sack? I don't know if we have a Floyd sack yet. Let's take a look and see. Let's see what we got here. Look at some of the box scores.
Defense.
Let's see. Here we go.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Sacks.
Nope.
No.
He's got a tackle for loss, but not a sack.
No sacks yet. So we're still waiting on that one. What else do we got? We're definitely ways away from 4 total touchdowns between the quarterbacks. We got 25 passing yards each quarter for Mac Jones. Are we tracking on that? Let's see. Mac Jones.
Where do I have that one at?
Let's see. 5, 2, 13. I don't think we hit that one either. Have we?
I don't think so.
First quarter, 9 play. Nope. I think 11-yard pass, 9-yard pass. We hit it in the first quarter, I think. Second quarter. Hit it in the second quarter. And then the third quarter is the only one we have left. Let's see. 3 plays, no. 11 plays. Yeah, it's still alive. We still have Mac Jones alive. So he needs 25
Okay.
passing yards in this fourth quarter, which, let's see. We
What
are.
is this San Francisco second half race to 10? Is he talking 10 points?
Actually, I think we hit that. So actually, we're good on Mac Jones. 25 passing yards each quarter. Race to 10 in the fourth quarter. So that will be or second half race to 10. So we need 10. The first team to score 10 points in the second half wins, which Atlanta has that opportunity. Both teams have that opportunity to get that. So that's still in play for both. But we have San
Good night,
Francisco.
Scotty.
It's maybe the Scotty's out of here. It sounds like he's off. And hey, Scotty, are you driving home right now, or are you going to be back tomorrow? When are you back? But get home safe. Obviously,
Good night, Scotty.
Good night, Scotty. My caps lock on. This score line is messing with a lot of parlays right now. Yeah. What's up, Caps Lock? How we doing? Who's your team and where you're from? Like to get to know you. Well, obviously, you got some money that you're kind of throwing around on this one. So, what do you? How was your day today? How was your betting day? I did well. Cleveland felt really good. I was all over Cleveland. They covered. I knew that Miami was going to be a disaster today, and they were. Their defenses dominated this first slate, like the first part of the day, the first half. I felt like defenses were absolutely just crushing offenses in some of these games, where it was just like every time I looked up, there was a team that was getting like a pick six, or it was like just you couldn't get anything going offensively, and it was a rough go for some of these offenses. Airplane in the morning to Denver. Okay, so there you go. So you got to camp out KC with the fam tonight. There you go. Airplane's always a little easier. I know it's a big football day, but you guys going to be chatting World Series or NBA kicking off this week at all? Yeah, we're going to be talking NBA this Wednesday coming up. We're going to be previewing Week 8, and we're going to be talking NBA basketball and previewing some of the NBA, just early on preview of what to expect. So, Hauser and Piglet, do you guys? Hauser, are you a big Atlanta? You follow NBA too?
Yeah.
Hawks?
Yes, sir. I am a Hawks fan, yes.
Hawks, I feel like going to be interesting this year. I mean, the East, you have a chance, man. The East is kind of, if you're going to take advantage,
definitely pretty wide open this year. And I feel like we definitely made some really solid moves in the offseason. Bringing in NAW, Porzingis is going to be, I think, really huge addition.
Yeah, I think you guys had a great offseason. I think between the Nuggets and the Hawks, I feel like both those teams really did themselves a favor in how they approached getting new players, how they approached the draft, everything that they did. So, I mean, the East is a lot tougher than the West, obviously. Or the West is a lot tougher than the East, I'm sorry. But you have a really big opportunity. And then, Piglet, are you a Golden State then? If you're San Francisco, Golden State?
I am not a basketball fan at all.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well, you can be a Nuggets fan. We'll take you. We'll take you as long as you want to be if you want to jump on the bandwagon. Now's your chance. You can just.
Do I get Nuggies to be a Nuggets fan?
Whatever you need. Whatever you need, we'll take good care of you. We'll take good care of you, and you'll be able to watch the most entertaining type of basketball you will ever see. So
that's in the
right.
Is a six piece nuggets in the welcome fan gift pack.
That's the
Right?
that's the welcome gift basket you get. I'll Venmo you for a McDonald's McNuggets, little 6-piece, and you'll be good to go.
And I'm a Giants fan for baseball. I need those Dodgers to not win the World Series though this year.
That would be nice, but it's just inevitable at this point, isn't it?
I don't care who wins.
It's just part
as long as it's not the Dodgers.
That's how it goes.
I'm just saying.
Let's see. Caps lock. No money yet on this game. I threw it on the Broncos last minute, and let me tell you, that hit nice. But the odds this game have been close, so I'm waiting. So, hey, this one, the spread on this game was Atlanta plus 3.5, which is what I'm hoping for as one of my best bets of the week. I need that to come through because I believe I do have Atlanta plus 3.5 in this one. So that's one of my one of my bets that I'm really hoping with Michael Penix here coming through. Nice play here on second and what was that? 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8. And Atlanta continuing their drive here. 9:27 left and counting in this fourth quarter. Bijan with that last grab for 7 yards. And actually, it's a 3rd and 1 coming up, it looks like. Gosh, Bijan just makes people miss. It's so beautiful to watch. All right, so 3rd and 1. Michael Penix in the shotgun. Takes the snap, pitches right, and short. 3rd and 1 turns into 4th and 1. Bijan can't quite.
I didn't like that play call.
I just, it's weird for me. I hate
don't understand that.
I hate when plays get called. Like you're like 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, and you start your play in the shotgun, pitching back an extra yard to try to get 1 yard. It blows my mind, and it's just like, and here we go. We're are we going for it here? 4th and 1.
Wow.
Here we go. Shotgun again at 4th and 1. Penix looks, throws. That's almost intercepted. Is that intercepted?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Almost.
Wow. And just like that, San Francisco takes over here with 8:16 left, getting a stop on 4th and 1. Wow.
Yeah, I just don't understand the concept of like, you need to get 1 yard. Why are you going to turn this into a 5+ yard play?
Drake London could not. Yeah. I mean, that was great coverage by San Francisco. Great coverage there. That could have been intercepted. I don't think London expected that to go through his hands. He wasn't ready to catch that. Lucas could not catch that ball and caught London off guard. So missed opportunity for a interception there. But either way, turnover on down. San Francisco takes over. 8:16 left in the fourth quarter. Both teams, all 3 timeouts still going. And McCaffrey makes him pay on 1st and 10 with about a 12-yard run to the right. What else do we got here?
He's healthy back this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only one though, right? He's like, which is the most ironic thing about the San Francisco 49ers. It's like, dude, the guy that's never healthy is the only guy that's healthy. Like, make it make sense. Like,
It's a trap.
yeah, it's crazy to me.
Right.
Caps Lock, I'll jump on the bandwagon for McNuggets. Hey, we'll take you. We'll take you anytime. Guys, hit that follow button if you're new to the channel. If you are enjoying this, we are breaking down week 8 coming up on Wednesday, and we are also going to be talking some NBA on Wednesday as well, doing a little season preview for the NBA. So tune in. We have a lot coming your way. But for now, we're watching some San Francisco, Atlanta, and we will be recapping some of the games that took place earlier in the day after this is over. Not watching the game, but I agree with Hauser. Just tush push. By the way, can I say something about the tush push? I get it. I get it works. I saw some crazy things today in like the Minnesota game. I mean, we saw last week where they ran 4 straight tush pushes or something like that. It was like over and over and over. They were running it. It sucks to watch. I like you when you truly watch a football game. and you just
It's like
know
a gimmick now.
it's like fourth. Ooh, big run here for McCaffrey. Another first down. McCaffrey chipping away. Because obviously I was keeping tabs on that Minnesota Vikings game because I had Minnesota plus 2.5 on one of my best bets. And I was thinking to myself, this is it's just automatic. You know, anytime it's third and 1 or fourth and 1, you know it's coming. And you know it's the same thing over and over. It's so predictable. It's not fun to watch. It's just, it needs to be gone. I'm over it. I'm so over it. Just get it out of the league. This is a bad football game, says Captain. I mean, it's not as high flying as some of the other games that we witnessed earlier on in the afternoon, or late afternoon, I should say. Midpoint of the season is almost here. It's kind of crazy to think we're at week 8.
It's crazy. I think that the season has gone by that fast already.
I mean, we spent all this time in the offseason like, man, we're almost there. Almost NFL season. And you look up and it's week 8. And I'm like, man, what happened? Where did the time go? It's kind of wild.
Blinked. The whole year's gone by quick, though.
Yeah. 3rd and 1 here for San Francisco. Haven't had too much trouble. By the way, I mean, we've been talking about a lot of the other games, but you look up and there's 5.5 left in this game. All of a sudden, this game feels like it went quick. Another tush push iteration here, and that will be a first down.
I actually didn't watch any other games today. I kind of had one of those lazy days, and I was like, nah.
I
didn't do anything.
Basically all the morning and afternoon, the early slate games, and then the late afternoon games. I was trying to keep tabs on the Green Bay. Did you guys watch it? Did you watch the Green Bay?
No, I didn't get to see. I watched some bits and pieces of that game, but I didn't get to see all of it.
Yeah, I missed a lot of that, and it was a competitive game. Weirdly enough, the Cardinals actually were keeping things close. San Francisco off and running. Mac Jones picks up about 8 yards here on first down. So keeping things rolling here. Penix on the sideline trying to figure out what he's going to have to look forward to on this next drive. But I didn't see a lot of the Green Bay game as much as I would like because I was trying to figure out what Bo Nix is and what this offense is and what Sean Payton is calling. And I'm just like, I want to understand what's happening with this team. So I spent a majority of my afternoon slate watching strictly the Broncos. Typically I watch Red Zone, but I still, after that game is over, don't know what we are. I still don't know what we have. At points, I was like, do we need Jared Stidham? Like, it crossed my mind where I was like, I wonder if Jared Stidham can push the ball downfield. But then we get to the fourth quarter, and we start pushing the ball downfield when we need to. I'm like, why wasn't that a thing in the first 3 quarters of the game? So it's like Bo Nix can do it. Do we let him? Is that a play calling thing? Is it not? So now I'm just like, who knows? Maybe it's a Sean Payton play calling thing. Maybe they don't let him do that. But then he also overthrew dudes. So who knows? I don't know. It's just all over the place. 13-10, 3:53 left. Both teams all timeouts. You need to get a stop here if you're Atlanta. You need to hold them to a field goal here. Sure. You need to be able to make sure they don't get in the end zone because then you're pretty much in a tough spot. 2nd and 8 here. This is a big drive here for San Francisco.
Good tackle.
Need a refresh here, get back up to speed. I feel like I'm a little bit behind. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. Yeah, McCaffrey gets pulled down there. Bringing up, what do we got here? McCaffrey
Oh my God.
Based off of Hauser being ahead, I have a feeling this isn't a great play coming up for the Atlanta defense. Mac Jones looks, throws. That's a catch.
Oh,
Inside the 5-yard
yes.
line to the 4. Mac Jones sets up a 1st and goal for San Francisco with 2:33 left. You have to get a stop here. A touchdown is brutal for Atlanta, and it'll put this game in a very tough spot for Atlanta here. So, not what you wanted there.
Nope.
Sorry, Hauser. Sorry, not sorry.
sorry, not sorry. Mac Jones slinging it. Okay. Let's see. Rhett, what's up, Rhett? How good do you think the Kansas City Chiefs will do? In what? In like next week or like the season or what's the context around how good? Because right now they're pretty good. They're the odds-on favorite, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to win the Super Bowl this year based off of their current roster and where they're at. So Vegas is very high on the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, we've talked a lot about this over the last, couple of weeks. Their offense is getting better. They're in a better spot offensively than they've been in the last 2 or 3 years. So that's a really big positive. And then the defense is where they've kind of struggled a little bit, but then you look up and they shut out the Raiders. I know it's the Raiders, but a shutout's a shutout. So you got to give them something for that. Their defense is still above average, if not really good. So, Rhett, I think they're really good. I think they got a great coach, a great quarterback, and they're in a good spot right now. So that's all you need to win games in the NFL. And speaking of winning games, San Francisco gets into the end zone. And that is a San Francisco touchdown. Christian McCaffrey taking it in, and 11-play, 65-yard, 5.5 or almost 6 minutes off the clock scoring drive for the 49ers as they get a touchdown with Christian McCaffrey, who's having himself a game. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 114 yards, 72 yards through the air on 7 receptions. So, one man stop. Like, if you're a defense and you're like, the San Francisco 49ers have one player offensively that is like elite. Don't you is it like slowing down one dude? It's just, it seems so easy, but at the same time, it's not. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Christian McCaffrey doing everything right now. Field goal unit out here to make it a 20-10 game, and they put it through. So there you go. 2:26 left. Atlanta needs to get on the board here. Hauser. Hauser, it's not looking great, but crazy things have happened today. We've had some crazy things happen today that could, maybe something crazy can happen tonight too.
We'll see.
I mean,
he's like,
yeah, it's.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, I don't know. It's looking a little rough.
Yeah, 2-possession game with 2:26 left in the game. It's not looking good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
Really needed to hold them on that drive, and I'm seeing a lot of plays where really feeling the absence of Divine Diablo, and it's like he's such a stalwart on that defense, and a lot. I'm not gonna say like what if, but it's a big loss to not have him there. But yeah, need to be able to do something.
Selfishly, Hauser, I really need your boys to come in and march down the field, get a touchdown, and try to at least get something here for my best bet of the week. So I need and that's just for a push. I think I got Atlanta +3. I think this closed at 3.5, which we'll see what ends up happening here. But come on, I'm a Penix fan on this last drive. Let's see what we can get. Penix, does he have it? He doesn't even have an interception. We can't even get some of these bingo squares off the board here. Much less, this is the last time I put Rec in charge of building the bingo squares. Rec catching strays over here. I'm trying to give away subs, and here we are. We can't do it.
And he's not even here. Not even in the chat.
And not even here to defend himself. It's, which it's fine. He'll survive. Does that mean they won the race to 10? Might be bingo season soon. So who's the race to 10? It was San Francisco. Yeah, actually that is. Yeah, he's in. That's the second time someone says he's in Africa again. Yeah, San Francisco race to 10 in the second half is a bingo square. We'll get that off the board. There we go. Kicker points. Where are we at kicker points? We got 3, 6, 9. Yep, we got kicker points is good. So we'll take that as well. Still don't have a sack.
Follows.
We have one bingo. San Francisco second half -1.5 is in play for a bingo on the left-hand side. So that's there.
There you go.
Let's see. Longest pass. Have we had a 37-yard pass? Let's see. Receiving. We've had a 38-yard pass to Darnell Mooney. So that's another bingo square. That's off the board. No defense, special team touchdown. London and Bourne, 125 plus yards. Let's see. London is 42. Unless Bourne has 1 million. Nope, he does not. So that is not a square. Pitts didn't hit. That's a dead spot. Over 45.5. Nope, that's a dead spot. Okay, looks like, and if everything goes according to plan here, we should have a bingo on the second half -1.5. So we'll see what happens when everything hits zeros. So here we go. We have the 2-minute warning here. Falcons and 49ers. We'll see how this ends up closing out. What's up, CSR? Let's go. How we doing? Welcome in. Who's your team and where you're from? Like to get to know you a little bit better. Great to have you in. He's still holding on to the Steelers L. Yeah, that's 2. Cuban and I are here, says Medusa. Welcome. How we doing, Cuban? Good to have you guys.
STG.
Yeah, like
possible.
I'm concerned about Devine Diablo's injury. Like if it's saying it was a forearm injury, like I'm thinking I'm really hoping it's not worst case and it's like a forearm fracture, because that could be the end of his season possibly, and like he's arguably been like our best defender. So that could be a bad thing, but hopefully he can return this season.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's not something super serious, right?
Yeah.
So Atlanta, if they drop here, they are 3-3 on the season, which again, something crazy could happen. But right now, we're looking at a team that's most likely here in a spot where they're going to be still looking up at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay 5-1 in the NFC South, and then you have the Carolina Panthers 4-3. I mean, the Carolina Panthers had the Jets today, so there's that. They've, by the way, Carolina's on a 3-game winning streak, which is when's the last time you could say that came out of anybody's mouth ever? Carolina Panthers. But you have Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and the Panthers all on at least a 2-game winning streak, at least until we see what the outcome is tonight. But the NFC South, how you feeling, Hauser, about those teams?
I mean, I think it's still early in the season. I think we'll know more within like the next month. I would say the Panthers. We just like when we played the Panthers, we just had a terrible day on offense. We had a lot of communication issues. Should not have lost that game, but I would say the Panthers have had a pretty soft schedule up until now. Playing teams like the Dolphins and the Jets are, and that's not tough games for sure. And I think they beat the Cowboys? No,
it was a close one.
It was a close one.
Yeah, it was a close one, but they ended up losing that game. No, they did beat the Cowboys. Yeah, 30-27. Sorry. Yeah. So they beat the Cowboys, the Jets, and the Dolphins recently. And then one win over the Falcons, which was that crazy blowout, which was kind of crazy.
I just realized, since I didn't watch any football today, I just realized the Dallas scored today.
Dallas went crazy. Dallas. And I was looking away a couple things here, but was there a fumble here? Did Lucas recover a fumble? What are we looking at here?
Yep.
So
that's what it looks
snap
like.
Here, Penix ends up getting hit as he throws forward pass.
I think that's a forward pass.
Yeah, ball's coming forward. This should be an incomplete pass. Yeah, that ball is coming forward, regardless of if it was hit. Penix shaking off the hand. His finger is not looking great there. Throwing finger. Holding it there. This is under official review. Sack, fumble, call on the field, which
it looked like Huff's helmet might have hit his hand as he was going in the forward motion. It looked like Huff's helmet hit him.
Can't wait to hear about the Giants-Broncos game. You got to be so confused by that. You're telling me, Captain. I was telling these guys. I was telling the chat a little bit earlier. I was like, I have no idea what to think about this team sometimes, especially today. It's like, we'll get into it. I promise. What's up, Vive? How we doing? Good to have you in. Yeah, it was kind of a crazy. It was between that one, this game today, the finish between the Broncos Giants, and the finish between the Bills and the Ravens. I don't think you could have. I mean, those are two of the craziest games I've seen in a long time. A long time. It's one of those where everything has to go right for the team that's coming back to win those games. And somehow, some way, everything went right. 1:56 left here. 2nd and 10. Atlanta continues with the ball. They did make it an incomplete pass, which rightfully so. I don't know why it took so long to figure out that was an incomplete pass. So Penix here needs to make something happen, get down the field. Penix looks downfield, throws, doesn't throw, and he gets eaten up by the San Francisco defense. Flag on the play. But the San Francisco defense is just feeding right now. Penix slow to get up, and he is limping.
That's not good.
Let's see what the flag here is.
Legal contact
On the defense. Okay, so there we go. That was Jake London, who had a little bit of contact down the field and ended up throwing the flag there for Atlanta. So we'll see. I mean, it looks like Penix is between his hand hitting a helmet or something, like you said, Piglet, earlier, and now his ankle that's not looking great. He hasn't had time to do anything, it feels like, over the last couple drives, Hauser.
I mean, that's the tough part about 49ers are a good team, especially like playing on the road. Like, it's a different element. It's a different things are going to be thrown at you for sure.
SDG Hauser looking depressed. Did I say Jake London? Did I say Jake or Drake? Did I say Jake?
You said Jake, I think.
my bad. Maybe unless he catches a ball on this like a deep ball here, his name is Jake for the rest of this game. So Jake, you earn the Drake, okay? If you can earn the Drake, maybe I'll feel a little bit better about it, you know? But right now, you're Jake. Jake, it's your alter ego that doesn't perform or doesn't. Oh, is it? Wait, is Kirk Cousins warming up on the side? Is he getting loose? Kirk Cousins? Or, as we called him when he's not performing, Kurt Cousins?
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Big throw downfield. Is it going to be to Jake or Drake? No, neither. It's out of bounds. 3rd and 10 coming up here for Atlanta. They are desperate at this point. 1:38 left. 2 timeouts still. But will they need them?
Probably, I would assume you're in 4 down territory.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Atlanta, you're all in here. You have to make this work one way or another.
And see this, I'll wait for you to catch up on this and then I'll comment.
Big throw to I was gonna say Drake, but it's Jake. Big throw to Jake. Jake London. And now it's a 4th and 10 because he couldn't.
It's 3rd and 10. It's not 3rd and 30. You have 2 plays. Why are you trying to throw 40 yards down the field? Like, come on.
Yeah, you make it feel, and you still have a couple timeouts, so it's not like you have to like really force it downfield to the sidelines or anything. You have plenty of time and 2 timeouts. Just move the sticks. It's a great start.
Oh man.
And so
GG's Piglet. That's
4th and 10.
No, you still got time.
No, we don't.
Penix, and there's nobody there. Nobody is in the vicinity, and 1:27 left. San Francisco, all they got to do is get a couple first downs. That's basically the game. So, Atlanta Falcons on the road here in this one, not looking good. Let's go ahead. Safe to say we're going to have the second half -1.5 off the bingo board here. So we'll get that knocked off the list. And we have a bingo for the people. So there you go. So we'll gift out at least 1 sub tonight to the community. Make sure you guys, hang out with us after this game. So that way we can, make sure if you might be a lucky recipient of a gifted sub to the Action Lab. And then there we go. Christian McCaffrey, another first down. And Atlanta burn the timeouts. But this one is over. This one is in the books. Second timeout for Atlanta. Just prolonging the inevitable. Next Sunday, Packers and Steelers. Packers and Steelers here for Sunday Night Football. Steelers at home, 4-2. Packers 4-1-1 on the season. That could be an interesting game. Packers all of a sudden, like, we were really high on Green Bay most of the season, early on in the season, thinking, man, they're going to be juggernauts and this is going to be, a solid Green Bay team. Haven't necessarily looked as dominant as I would have probably expected them to at this point. Little run play here, third down coming up, or second down coming up? Timeout, Atlanta. 1:14 left. Final timeout. What is this thing on the sideline that they're doing? Running back? Is National Running Back Day? You want to talk about a running back that had a great day? Go to Cleveland. Old boy in Cleveland had a fantastic 3-touchdown game. Who's the kid in Cleveland that just went crazy today? It was Judkins. Quinshawn Judkins. 84 yards, 3 touchdowns. Whew. Piling it on. Judkins went wild, scoring touchdowns. But then again, Miami 1-6, dropping to 1-6. Miami, how quickly are they firing McDaniel? I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. That will happen. That's going to happen. I'm surprised it hasn't happened. And victory
That
for
looked like one of the robes that the boxers wear out.
Oof.
That purple
Rough.
robe.
Crazy. All right, and we have victory formation here. San Francisco gets the dub. Congratulations, Piglet. Your boys get the win and will improve to 5-2 on the season.
Congrats, GG's.
GG.
5-2 on the season for San Francisco, which, by the way, can we talk about Kyle Shanahan right now? The fact that Kyle Shanahan is getting what he's getting out of this San Francisco team there's homes in San Francisco putting skeletons and blue tents in their front yards with jerseys on them because it's just a joke. And yet they're 5-2 at this point in the NFL season with Mac Jones and Christian McCaffrey and a bunch of do we have at one point? I want to say,
What are they?
They didn't have starting tight end. They didn't have starting wide receivers. They didn't have anything, and yet they're somehow winning these games. It's crazy.
Yep.
Two of the best right now, swapping. Were they swapping gloves?
Swapping jerseys?
Swapping jerseys.
I think.
Bijan and Christian. Two of the. Oh, and look at that. Bijan's jersey is ripped up. If I'm Christian McCaffrey, I'm like, is that maybe that's his undershirt? Maybe. I was like, is his jersey torn up?
It did look like his jersey.
It looked like it might have been torn a little bit.
Yeah, I was like,
What are they doing?
I think there's a connection. I think there's a connection there. I think they worked out a good bit in the offseason.
Oh, did they? That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
They didn't go to college together, did they?
No.
I think
I don't think so.
Christian went to Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey went to Stanford and Bijan went to Texas.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the San Francisco 49ers get a win. And then they improve to 5-2, as mentioned. The Atlanta Falcons dropped to 3-3. So let's take a look at the standings real quick, and we'll get our takeaways from this game from both Piglet and Hauser. So San Francisco right behind Los Angeles Rams 5-2 in that NFC West. San Francisco 4-2, Seattle 4-2. So all those teams, nice gridlocks there, and could be anyone's division at this point. Piglet, big win today. How you feeling? Oh, actually, yeah, San Francisco 5-2, by the way. So they're tied with the Rams 5-2.
Yes.
My bad. I'm sorry. So how you feeling? Do you feel like the San Francisco 49ers have what it takes to win this division and dethrone the LA Rams and hold off the Seahawks?
I think they can. Like you said, with all the injuries that they've sustained this year, so far. We're almost halfway through. They're still able to come out and get the dubs. I don't know how, but Kyle's doing whatever he's doing. All the other coaches are out there, and these guys are able to pull together and overcome some of those injuries and still find ways to win games. So I hope that they can continue to do that with and overtake the Rams. I'd like to see them back on top instead of the Rams for once.
Current odds for the NFC West winner right now is San Francisco plus 145 as the favorite. Basically neck and neck, plus 140 for the Rams. So it's basically they're the same odds at the top of the division. And then you have the Seahawks at 3-1. So plus 310 to win that division. So it's either right now Vegas has it between the Rams and the 49ers. Meanwhile, we look over at the Atlanta Falcons. They dropped to 3-3 on the season. Right now, Tampa Bay picked to win that division via FanDuel Sportsbook at minus 425. Falcons 5-1, and it's basically a gap between them and the rest of the division. Given the Carolina Panthers still competitive right now, but will they be by the end of the season? Probably not. So Falcons got some definitely some ground they have to make up at least this season, because right now they're sitting at 3-3. Tampa Bay 5-1. Hauser, what are your thoughts?
It'd be nice if they lose tomorrow. That would be great. Yes, that would be great. Please, Seattle.
Yeah, big Seattle fan tomorrow.
Yeah, go Seahawks.
Yeah.
No, excuse me, Lions.
Oh yeah,
Wrong
you're right.
game.
You're right. Lions. Yep.
Go Lions.
Yep. Which
It's
is
it's very possible the Lions could win that game. But next week you would hope would be a get right game versus the Dolphins. And then another tough game at New England after that. So definitely got some more work to do. If Divine Diablo is going to be out for an extended period of time, that's going to be difficult to overcome that for sure. But yeah, got work to do.
You almost don't want. So we were talking about the Miami Dolphins firing their coach. You almost don't want that to happen. You always have that pick me up game after you fire your coach.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to play that team the next week, and you have that. It's in Miami on the road against a team that might fire their coach and be, in a better spot.
It'll be at home next week.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, it is in Atlanta. I'm sorry. So you want to make sure that you're ready for that too, preparing a little bit, because I mean that's always one of those betting trends anytime a coach is fired. So want to keep an eye on that. So that being said, let's go ahead. Let's gift out a sub to the community based off of our bingo that we got tonight. And then we're going to get into all the other games that took place earlier on in the day and go through each and every single one. Cover them it might be a quick night tonight, considering I'm running solo. No Rec and no Scotty tonight. So we'll go through those games. We'll, have you guys keep me some company on those recaps, and then we'll get out of here and get you on to week 8 of the NFL coming up this week. So let's go ahead. Let's gift out a sub to the community. Here we go. Good luck to whoever ends up getting this one. Here we go. And good luck. And we have Judo. Congratulations. Judo Red. Enjoy your sub and welcome to the Action Lab Sports community. Great to have you here. So welcome. All right, guys. Any other takeaways, one way or another, on last words before we get you guys out of here? Hauser, we'll start with you.
Tough game. Not the best game on the offense for sure. I didn't like some of the play calls that we had. It's always tougher when you're playing on the road. But shout out to the 49ers. Definitely played the better game today. Hopefully we can, turn things around going forward starting next week. But yeah.
And Piglet, any last words for your boys or anything else tonight?
I think we're going to continue going up. Looking at the teams, they put the 49ers over the Rams. So we're currently first in the NFC West. I think going forward, they're just going to keep trying to find ways to win throughout, despite all the injuries, and just get it done.
All right, there you have it. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year for both these teams. Both, again, still have a shot. You just gotta get some wins here. You gotta hope the division gives you a little bit of some good vibes moving forward for the rest of the second half of the season, right? So there you go. Well, Hauser and Piglet, thank you so much for joining in on the show tonight. It was absolutely incredible having you. And we'll have to do this again. I don't even know. Do the Niners or the Falcons have any other Sunday night football games? I don't even know the schedule. Let's see. Sunday night football schedule.
No, unless something gets flexed.
I think.
Not on Sunday night for the Falcons, I don't think.
Yeah, I think we're out of it for a little bit. So there you go. But we'll if anything gets flexed in, would love to have you guys back. And if you guys are joining us for the first time and you're a fan of a team that's playing on Sunday Night Football, make sure you come in and you let us know, and we can get you all situated and have some fun talking about the games coming up. So thank you so much. Piglet, Hauser, let's get some W's in the chat for Piglet and Hauser in the community here. Let's go ahead. Thank you guys. You guys crushed it tonight. Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go. All right. We'll close things out here and get you guys into the rest of the show. Let's go ahead. We're going to actually open this up a little bit more, and we're going to talk about some of these week 7 games. Let's just do this. Close this down a little bit, and we'll just go like that. Bop, 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 bop. All right. There we go. All right. Cool. All right. Let's get into the week 7 slate. Now, this will probably go a lot quicker, knowing I'm just the only one talking through these. So we'll have you to bed early tonight as we get through some of these recaps. But there's a lot of games, a lot of things that we really got into, starting from Thursday night football, as we can tell here, Steelers and Bengals, which was kind of a crazy outcome. And we're going to go through all the games and chat a little bit about these. But the Steelers end up dropping a game to the Cincinnati Bengals on Thursday night football. Joe Flacco delivering a throwback gem. We got some Joe Flacco love in Cincinnati now. We ended up winning this game over Rex Steelers. Now we kind of previewed this and told you guys, like, last week it was a great spot for the Steelers. This week was not a great spot for the Steelers. And there was, I think, some conversations of, how could you trade a player like Joe Flacco to a division team that needs a quarterback that, is still competitive, trying to win the division. And yet that's what happened. And so there was some grumbling going on with that. But you look up at this division, and it's kind of wild to think that you have a division where you have the 1-5 Ravens as tied for favorites in Vegas with the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this division. Cincinnati 5-1, but Baltimore at the bottom of the division is still favored to win with one win at this point in the season, which is kind of wild to think. Steelers are dead to me forever, says Diacola. Yeah, sorry. Steelers are dead to me. That's why I haven't bet on them in weeks or in years. Has it been a year and a half since I've bet on the Steelers? Yeah, no. They've been dead to me for a while. But that doesn't change the fact that they did not exactly show up here in this one. You had old man Flacco versus old man Rodgers, and it was Roger. Kind of a crazy game. Rodgers rallied the Steelers, but still came up short later in this game. Steelers, off to a strong start, but once they had a Jalen Warren touchdown run called back by a penalty, the game kind of turned at that point. Rodgers threw 2 first-half interceptions. It was just a rough start for Pittsburgh, and then again, it turned into an epic performance. Jamar Chase had a big one. He caught a club record 16 passes on 23 targets, tied for the third most in a game since 1978, for 161 yards and a touchdown, just carving up the Steelers. It was kind of one of those old school, just big games. Run game, timely defensive plays carried the Bengals in this one, and they ended up getting a division win, which these games are always close. And so when it came down to it, Bengals somehow, some way, given the struggles that they've had early on in the NFL season, come out with a win against a team like the Steelers, who are now 4-2 in the division, but still at the top. So yeah, rough game for the Steelers to lose, but they ended up, still at the top there. Aaron Rodgers, 64,222 passing yards, passed Big Ben for the 5th most career passing yards in NFL history on Thursday night. So old Roger is he's getting his stats padded late in the season, late in his career. He's kind of got that LeBron James kind of thing. He's been in the league for like 100 years now, and he's just racking up stats. Kind of like, Brett Favre did the same thing too. You got these quarterbacks that just, Tom Brady, all these guys, right? So he's doing his thing late in his career. Vegas is saying the Steelers are frauds, which I agree. Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, and you're looking at the Steelers, nothing changes the fact that we feel this 4-1, now 4-2 team is going to be perfectly average, casually average by the end of the season. And they're going to be bad enough to not win a playoff game and good enough to not get a draft pick that's worth a damn. So one way or another, Steelers are always going to find themselves in this spot. But Baltimore, on their bye week, I guess are winners because they get healthy and they come back and they play the Bears, the Dolphins, the Browns. They play at the Vikings before the Browns, but they still, the Vikings aren't exactly who are the Vikings? The Vikings have a good defense, but I don't know. Vikings is probably the toughest team there. So Dolphins, Bears, Vikings, Browns, Jets are the next 5 games for the Ravens, which they could easily win 4 out of 5 of those games and be right back in the mix, which is why their Vegas odds are where they are. The AARP Bowl went wild, says Tay. Yeah, that's right. They went crazy. You got quarterbacks falling asleep. They got they got to get back to the home. Their shuttle bus back to the retirement home it's running late. It's running late on the clock right now. But hey, they made it. So there you go. Let's get to the next game here, and we're gonna breeze through some of these games because some of these games ain't it. It ain't it. And this was one of those games that we don't really need to talk too much about. You had 2 shitty teams that came into this one. Not Chiefs. Sorry, I didn't change. This is what happens when I don't have Sky to make graphics. I have Chiefs and Chargers, but the Panthers graphic. Just look at the graphic. Just look at the logos. Don't worry about it. I'm a one-man production crew this week. It's okay. we're having fun. Just look at the logos and realize that the Panthers beat the Jets. You know what? This game didn't matter so much that I didn't even have the wherewithal to go in and actually change the titles of these games. I actually wanted these teams to be the Chiefs and the Chargers. That's how bad this, we don't really care. So we'll just keep it simple. The Panthers beat the Jets. The Jets still winless on the season. Not looking good whatsoever. Will they get a win? Chat. Are the Jets going to get a win? They're 0-7. The Carolina Panthers actually look decent for 2 minutes in this game. I think Carolina 4-3 is 500 or better through 7 games for the first time since 2019, which they were also 4-3. The 2019 Panthers started 4-3, finished 5-11, last in the NFC South. And Ron Rivera was fired mid-season. So, yeah. So here you go. Until these two teams are relevant again, they don't deserve to have their names on our banner here. They don't deserve it. So, there you go. See, I could totally justify the graphic at this point, right? Like, just the way it is. It's the way it is. All right, there you go. By the way, if you guys have anything you want to say on these, feel free. Throw your thoughts out there, but I doubt it. By the way, Bryce Young exited the game. That's the one other thing in this game. So they ended up Andy Dalton had to enter in this game. Brought me back to when Andy Dalton was there before. But the offense didn't do much with him. So I don't know what the extent is of the injury. Bryce Young was walking to the locker room, ruled out with some sort of ankle injury, which means they're going to have some trouble moving forward. Andy Dalton most likely will be moving forward. Dowdle was kind of like one of the highlights of this game, but other than that, nothing much to write home about in this one. Okay, let's get to Eagles and the Vikings. This was one of my best bets of the week. By the way, there was a lot of themes. And we'll get into those themes here in a little bit, but like defenses fed a lot this week. A lot of defenses that really just crushed offenses, and it was just a tough week, especially in like the AM slate of games this morning. But this wasn't one of. This was a weird game in a sense that I had a best bet in this one as Vikings plus 2.5 in this game. Now, when we're talking about the Eagles and the Vikings, these two teams we just never know what you're going to get. You have the Eagles who continue to struggle to find offensive rhythm, and this was not any different this week. The Eagles did not look particularly great in this game. Hurts still looks like it's just not quite there, even though he had some nice passes and got some things going to A.J. Brown, 37-yard touchdown to A.J. Brown. He had a 79-yarder to Devontae Smith, 26-yarder to Brown again later on in this game. But, like, those were kind of it. Like, that was about it. Saquon Barkley didn't exactly have another really great game in this one, so they're struggling to get their running game is still stuck. And when you have one of the best running backs in the NFL, it's kind of weird to see that. So I'm still not necessarily quite there on the Eagles. By the way, I'm all out. I really don't really say too much about the tush push too much. Screw the tush push. Get it out of the NFL. I'm so sick of seeing the tush push every short down with the Eagles. It's like it's the most predictable, boring thing to watch. And I've always been kind of on board with it, but get it out. Like can we have some creativity? Maybe it'll spark an offense for a team that hasn't had any all season long, for the Philadelphia Eagles, you know? But here's the thing. Eagles did find a way to win. They did look better offensively with some of those passes than I will say they have in recent weeks. And I think the biggest change in this game, what changed the entire landscape, was the pick six for the Eagles defense. That was the game changer. in my opinion, here for this one. So, when that happened, that kind of opened things up. That blew up my best bet of the week at Vikings plus 2.5. Vikings didn't look good, and the Vikings didn't particularly play well in the red zone. Credit to the Eagles defense. The Eagles defense did not let anything happen in the red zone outside of maybe one play. There was 6 red zone visits and 5 field goals and 1 touchdown. 2 bad sacks in the red zone for Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz kind of struggled to get anything punched in, and that was the difference in this game. So between the pick 6 and the just rough end zone or red zone trips for the Vikings that couldn't capitalize, it was one of those tough games for Minnesota to keep competitive in this one. And they still, they had a chance. They could have scored a touchdown. They ended up opting for a field goal, gambling a little bit towards the end of this game to try to get back into it. It was a 2-possession game, so they needed to get something. They opted for the field goal and couldn't quite stop the Eagles with the last few plays of the game. So that was it. That was the difference in this game. Vikings could have made it more competitive, but just didn't have what it took. So, there you go. Say you didn't watch the game. I watched the majority of this game. I watched. This was the most competitive game in the first half of this day. There was no really there was, I think, one other game that was within 1 score early on in the early slate of these. So this was the most exciting and most entertaining game of the entire morning slate. Nothing else really was competitive, which is why we're going to get through a lot of these scores pretty quickly, and a lot of these recaps pretty quickly. But between the London game, blowout, not even close. Bears and Saints wasn't really close. Browns and Dolphins wasn't close. Patriots and Titans, bad game. Chiefs shut out the Raiders. Panthers was the only other close game in the early slate, and that was a 13-6 between a total of 4 wins between both teams. Not great. So, it wasn't great. So, that being said, I did watch a lot of this game. And Eagles, you're still not to the point where you feel like, man, this team is back to being in a good rhythm offensively. Now, to be 5-2 at this point in the season and not playing your best football, you'll take that, right? You'll take that all day, every day. There are a lot of teams out there that aren't playing their best football and they're winning games. And if you can get that going at some point and you can start getting in a good rhythm, yeah, good for you. But right now, the Vikings were lingering around in this game with Carson Wentz. The Vikings defense looked trash today, though. They did not look good. They were giving up plays all over the place. And so, yeah, it's just, saying Hurst didn't do anything is hilarious. He had a perfect passer rating, 19-23, just 3 touchdowns. The running game sucks. Yes, I agree, but the hate is unreal. And I'm not hating on the Eagles. Here's the thing. I think Philly, it's just, and you can admit, it hasn't looked as good as what you're used to. It hasn't looked good as what you're used to seeing over the last couple seasons, right? It looks harder for Philly to, be able to push the ball. And again, this was one of the better games that I felt like they had through the air that they've had this season. So, I feel like, yeah, you're getting some traction, but it doesn't look the same as what the Super Bowl run looked like last year. It looks a lot like you have to grind it out a little bit more offensively. So, yeah, Hurts was fine. He was fine. He's fine. So, yeah, I'll give you that. Looked better this game against a good Vikings defense. So, I'll give you that. I think Vikings are in a weird spot. I think if you're trying to figure out whether or not you were trying to keep Carson Wentz in this, I don't think that's your goal. But is JJ ready? He was almost ready potentially to come back this week. It's gonna be interesting to see how they work him back in. Carson Wentz struggled at times in the red zone, so that's what I'm worried about there. Which is why they might bring JJ back a little sooner than they normally do. So yeah, Vikings defense did not look good today. All right. And I didn't change this graphic either. It was a rough day. It was a rough day. It was a rough afternoon. Chiefs beat the Raiders. There's not really much to say here. Chiefs are the best team right now that they could possibly ask for with offense. It's actually like playing really, really well. And they're hitting their stride at the right time. There was a point in this game where they were just throwing out some random fun trick plays to try to draw them off sides. They ended up running it. It got caught on the audio for the telecast, and then we ended up seeing that everyone was laughing about it after the game on Twitter. But the Raiders suck. They're not in a great place right now, and to be shut out by the Chiefs, which hasn't happened, I think, in a long time, at least in this AFC matchup, it wasn't great. So yeah, it was a rough game. Brock Bowers still out. You'll also lose a couple players on the defensive side of the football for the Raiders, but it doesn't really matter at this point. They're bottom feeding right now in the AFC West, and it just continues to be a downward spiral, even with Pete Carroll at the helm. It's 2-5 for the Las Vegas Raiders, and it feels like that's even generous at this point because the fact that they've been playing as bad as they have and they have a couple wins, it's crazy. Max Crosby ended up leaving this game. Chiefs offense looks like it's back humming. Rashee Rice had a great game this week, and he had a really, really solid return in the grand scheme of what we were expecting. Like, there's always those kind of questionable marks of, is this guy going to hit the ground running when he's missed so much time? But he was a resurgence here, and he had a great game back. So Chiefs ran 42 first-half plays and built a 21-0 lead, scoring on 3 drives of 84 yards or longer. Patrick Mahomes, 206 yards in the first half alone. He had a great game. Raiders only had 3 first downs in the game, the fewest in NFL since the Raiders had 3 in Week 9 in a loss to the Falcons in 2008 of the NFL season. So there you go. All right, let's move on. This is one of those morning blowout games, and this is kind of one of the. There's a lot of buying in. There's a lot of teams, or a lot of times that you want to buy in to. Chris, you lazy as hell. It was a crazy afternoon, Tay. It was a crazy afternoon. I'm sorry. I was like, the Broncos game had me all over the place, by the way. I'll get to that in a little bit, but the Broncos game had me all over the place. And Scotty wasn't. He usually does the graphics, and then Rex here, he does this and that. And so I was kind of just all over the map, Tay. So you know what? It's we're just laughing it off right now. How do they only put up 13 fantasy points with a shutout? It's kind of, you just go through the motions at a certain point. When you're up so much, it doesn't even really matter. I won a friend's favorite Raiders hat when worked for PD, saying Raiders suck over the radio. By the way, isn't there that meme every single year in Halloween? It's almost Halloween time, and there's always that meme of the kids with their Halloween candy, and whether you can substitute any team in for this. Titans, you can substitute them in too, of someone that gets like Titans tickets or Raiders tickets in their Halloween bag, and they're going through it, and just like, be careful out there, parents. There's some sick people out there putting things in your kids' candy or your Halloween baskets. Be very careful. A lot of sick people out there. So go, guys, check your kids' Halloween baskets, because it could be dangerous. You might get Titans or Raiders tickets in there. Might be rough. Patriots and Titans. I would check in on this game every so often. I think this was a trendy pick to cover. This was Titans plus 7.5 in this game. And you think to yourself, okay, yeah, Titans, they're in a place where, they're 1-5. They're getting faded by everybody. New England Patriots coming in on this game on the road. They're higher stock than any other team right now. They're looking great. Coming off a win, they're doing awesome. They're doing great. So this is a perfect time to buy Tennessee. 7.5. Great number. Just got to keep it close. You just got to keep it close. For all you Tennessee bettors out there, just keep fading Tennessee. They stink. I mean,
Brother, this guy stinks.
Titans stink right now. And I think you might as well just keep. This was the buyback week after they fired their coach, right? You figure fire Brian Callahan early in the week. Sunday, you get that boost. You got Mike McCoy serving as interim coach. This is the spot. This is what you need. You want to be able to back a team that just fired their coach, getting 7.5 at home against an inflated New England team. And sure enough, you had bad turnovers all throughout this game by Tennessee. Cam Ward just could not. I mean, there was a bad play where the ball just flipped out of his hands and it turned into a turnover, and Patriots took advantage in this one and kept getting after him over and over. And you think to yourself, man, nothing can help Tennessee at this point. They're not going to improve overnight, regardless of who's coaching. And Sunday was a painful reminder of this. It was rough. Drake May, second-year quarterback, he's been playing well. There was a point in this game where I thought he went to the blue tent. I thought he had a concussion. Ended up coming back into this game. But still, it didn't really matter. Patriots, even given the circumstances of them maybe not being the most talented team, are still continuing to win games. New England regained the lead before halftime and then exploded for 2 touchdowns in 11 seconds of the game midway through the third quarter following a 12-play, 88-yard touchdown drive. Fumble recovery return for a score that I mentioned earlier. So it was just 5 sacks, by the way. Cam Ward. Just, it's not going to get it done. Not going to get it done. With 222 passing yards and a 135.9 passer rating, Drake May became the third player under the age of 24 with 200-plus passing yards and a 100-plus passer rating in 6 consecutive games. He's playing. He's got a career highlight reel, at least for this particular game. There's a lot of get-right spots in the league, right? Tennessee, get-right spot. You feel good going into a week against Tennessee. Then you got, what are the other get-right spots? Jets, great get-right spot. Like, you have the Jets on the schedule, you're feeling good. I mean, there's a lot of them this year, it feels like. So, yeah, Miami, get-right spot. Continuing on, like, there's some teams out there that you're just like, you look at the schedule and you're just like, man, Baltimore so far this season was a get-right spot because their defense has been giving up so many points. But New Orleans, I mean, we haven't even gotten to that game yet. It was very similar with Spencer Rattler and that. We'll get to that here in a second. But again, Patriots took advantage of a bad team. At this point, you keep fading them. Let's see what the schedule looks like for Tennessee down the stretch. Let's see who's getting wins. Colts. Feels good. Chargers. Texans will get a win. Seattle. Jacksonville, Cleveland. I'm looking at the rest of this schedule for the Titans. Unless they split with the Jags, I don't know if I see another win on their schedule. That's crazy to say. I mean, right now they're a 1-6 team. And unless they split with the Jags, I don't see them beating a Cleveland Browns team at home. That's another questionable one. Seattle. I struggle to find more than one more win on the schedule for the Tennessee Titans. They barely got their first win. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tay. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Saints, maybe ooh, can you imagine a Cam Ward, Spencer Rattler, barn burner, the second to last game of the season? Ooh.
It's my quarterback.
Oh, man, that's going to be a fiery match. That's going to be spicy.
Spicy.
Ooh. That'll be an interesting one. So, and I'm being totally facetious right now. That's the only winnable game. I think that's the best win. Maybe they lose to the Jags both times, but maybe the Saints. Maybe the Saints have given up at that point. I mean, the Saints are trash too. Let's move on. I spent way too much time on that one. Dolphins and Browns. Another game here that didn't exactly go. It wasn't very competitive. This was one of my best bets of the week. Browns end up winning this game, and it wasn't even close. Dolphins. I'm shocked you haven't fired your coach yet. These are the kind of losses when you're at 1-6, losing to Cleveland on the road. And I get Cleveland's defense shows up big at home, right? But this was a beatdown. And Cleveland's defense, they're good. Like, they're a very good defense. But offensively, you shouldn't have as much Cleveland love from, what they do offensively here. Dolphins just gave it away. It wasn't even close. 3 turnovers versus an interception on Tua, and then 1 returned by Tyson Campbell for a touchdown. Like, every time I looked up, the Cleveland Browns were intercepting or having a game-changing defensive play that just continued to pile on this poor Dolphins team. I went into this week saying this team is not in the right state of mind. You have to absolutely, be preparing for these things. And they were all in social media. You had the comments by Tua that he had to walk back and apologize for. Coach had to come back and say, yeah, it wasn't great that he said those things. When you're not game planning and you're focusing on those things and the locker room's already lost because you don't have leadership in it, then you have to figure something out. And you have to, like, when you're focusing on the wrong things, and they weren't focused on the Cleveland Browns this week, which is why I was like, Browns -2.5 is one of the easiest bets that I've made in a while. I put a pretty substantial amount on this game, and it felt good to feel, a little bit heavier in the wallet this week. But either way, yeah, Judkins had a great game. 3 touchdowns in this one. Didn't quite get to 100 yards rushing, I don't think. I think he was a little short there, but 69 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he was just a monster. Dolphins gave up in this one. By the way, Browns used an extra lineman on 22 of 52 plays to really get him loose in this game. Miami, 6 points were the fewest allowed by a Browns team since week 9 of the 2023 season in a shutout win over Arizona. Cleveland also snapped its 11-game streak of scoring 17 or fewer points. Like, what did I say? Get right spot? That's it. That's the get right spot. It's now we got to figure out, when they're going to fire McDaniel so he can, just move on. This team needed to change that 2 or 3 weeks ago, by the way, and they still haven't. I'm getting killed this week in fantasy. Yeah. It was my team, sucked again today. Oh, said Diaco. Yep. Fantasy football. 26.4 points for Judkins. Exploding out of the gates here against Miami. Looking at Miami's schedule. Do you want to play the wins game with Miami? Do we want to do that too? Maybe we can see how many games they have on their schedule until they fire. Well, when they fire their coach, it might change a little bit. But coming up for Miami, you have the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons should win. Ravens should win. Bills should win. Commanders at home. I mean, well, and here's the other thing. You're getting late into the season, so these road trips and late into the season with the weather, Tua ain't it. I don't care who your coach is. It's not going to be pretty. Saints is a get right spot. We talked about the Saints. Everyone's we got some crazy bad matchups. Saints and Jets. Jets might still not have a win. There's some route here for the Dolphins to maybe get a couple wins. Maybe. But then again, it's in New York. So they've already won against the New York Jets early on the season at home. Jets, that might be the Jets, one of their first wins. Maybe. Who knows? Either way, we're talking about a lot of bad teams here. Maybe a couple more if Tua eats breakfast that morning. True. That could be it.
Roger.
Browns. Still in the grand scheme of things for them, they're still kind of looking up at they're looking up at Cincinnati at 3-4, which is kind of crazy, but that division, that AFC North division is rough. That might be one of the weaker divisions in the NFL right now. I just don't see a lot of teams that I could see going far in the playoffs. So another rough one here. Saints and Bears. Talked about the Saints. You want to talk about cookie cutter in what we saw with Tennessee, and every time you look up, there's like turnovers happening, and it's like just the defense just feasting. I was looking at the defenses that feasted today. If you're in fantasy football, you're probably like, yeah, defenses aren't that great. They help you out here and there. I mean, you talk about Chicago's defense. You talk about Cleveland's defense. Kansas City had the shutout. The Rams, New England, all the turnovers, dude, there were some bad games from some of these offenses that could not get anything going whatsoever. Every time I looked up, Saints had issues in this game in Chicago. The Chicago Bears were just, 3 interceptions for Rattler in this game by a Bears defense that's like good, but 3 interceptions good. And then, defense is fed this week in week 7. Not a great game. At one point in this, the Saints had, they closed it to a 1 possession game. But then again, Spencer Rattler in the first 20 minutes, it was a rough start to this game. The Bears now have upped the ante, forcing 4 Saints turnovers this Sunday, bringing Chicago's 4-game total to 15 takeaways, by the way. They've been, in the first few games of this season, the Bears defense has been making some strides and doing some nice things, but Spencer Rattler took a step back here. It was a rough game for him. He couldn't get anything going. Caleb Williams never really had a great sense in this game of getting in a nice rhythm, but he still did enough, and the defense helped him out enough to get a win here in this one. Bears run game definitely helped fill the void for not being able to throw as much. So Bears, 2 offensive touchdowns combining for 205 yards on the ground, 232 yards from scrimmage on a day when Williams was kind of misfiring all over the place, doing not really scrambling as much, and it wasn't really exactly offensive, just high flying game. They still got the win. Bears won 4 consecutive games with this within the span of a single season. Within the span of a single season for the first time since 2018. So, yeah, Caleb Williams, 7 of 8 passes, 102 yards against Saints blitzes. So he was handling the blitz fairly well, but again, it's the Saints defense. Bears end up getting the win here. Bears improved to 4-2 on the season, and the Saints are still a 1-win team and dropped this one on the road. Bears 4-2. Tied with the Detroit Lions, who are in action tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. Jags and Rams. I didn't watch a lot of this game. I was it was the early game across the pond, and I think the biggest surprise here is what we talked about early on in the show tonight, where I was the only big surprise here. I wasn't shocked that the Rams won this game. I was kind of more shocked that the Rams kind of blew out the Jags. Like the Jags defense and playing in London, that's kind of, they keep those games low scoring and they're kind of grindy style games. Rams kind of ran all over them in this one. By the way, in the chat, more context, no trade league, plus absurd amount of injuries. Yep. In your fantasy league. I feel like Rattler could thrive in a different system. Yeah, I mean, he makes some mistakes though, and it's kind of one of those things. Is it the team or is it him? So I think there's some struggles with the talent in New Orleans. We knew New Orleans was going to be a rough team this season. I mean, between Kamara, who's kind of got some mileage on those tires, and Chris Olave. I mean, Chris Olave did, he's a nice bright spot for this team in that respect. Outside of that, it's kind of tough. I mean, Chris Olave, 98 yards today, 2 touchdowns. So he was the one lone bright spot for the Saints. But I think there's just limitations with just how they're run and just the talent level that they have on that team. So kind of a tough one. Let's get into, I won't spend a lot of time on this one. I didn't watch a lot of this game again. But Jags, again, turned out to be kind of flat offensively. Not really sure. I mean, the Jags from week to week are just kind of an enigma, right? You just never know. You never know what you're getting, really, with their offense. Trevor Lawrence, you think he's taking a step forward, and then he kind of takes a step back. Without Puka Nacua, by the way, the Rams roll in London, and they don't miss a step. That's kind of like what we're seeing with the San Francisco 49ers and how the Kyle Shanahan is getting his team without, all the players. They got injuries dealing with in the San Francisco 49ers organization they just keep winning. The Rams kind of in the same spot. They have, some injuries that they've been battling through, especially offensively. But when you have offensive minded coaches that are really good at getting your teams ready to play, especially in that, I mean, maybe it's something in the water in the NFC West, but Sean McVay got his boys ready to go in this one. So Matt Stafford spread the ball around more than he had all year. 10 players recording receptions. 3 tight ends caught passes on Stafford's 3 first attempts. So, he was utilizing every single player offensively. And then the Jags offense just limping into the bye. It wasn't pretty. Travis Hunter was a non-factor in the first half. Brian Thomas Jr. for the entirety of the game wasn't really a thing either. So just couldn't. Maybe it's the London. Maybe it's Jags not performing at home in front of the home crowd that they're used to playing in front of. But yeah, Liam Cohen was the latest Sean McVay disciple to just come in here, and he did not have a lot of success. Matthew Stafford had 5 passing touchdowns, most in an international game all time. Also, Stafford's second career game with 5 touchdowns passing and 0 interceptions. His first such career game on the road, so to speak. Meanwhile, Devontae Adams became the first wide receiver with at least 3 receiving touchdowns in an international game. So Rams putting up points in Europe. So there you go. Jags never lose in London too, which makes this game even crazier. It's true. Yeah. It was kind of a weird when I went to church, got back, turned on the game, and I was like, well, this is a weird game to be turning on right now in the early game. Kyron Williams is not used. Sorry, fantasy people. You didn't need to. I guess, all right. Cardinals and Packers. Let's talk about it. This is one of the more competitive games on the day. One of the games that kind of was slow starting a little bit. This game I was looking at up in the first quarter, and it was kind of slow. Not really much happening. And I was like, man, the Packers kind of getting out to a slow start. I mean, this game, Cardinals up 3-0 after the first quarter. And then going into halftime, it was 13-6 Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett was in this game because Kyler Murray was out with an injury. So Jacoby Brissett, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, kind of filling in a role there that, he's used to doing. But the major offense came from our boy Trey McBride, CSU boy, who 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. But Packers turned it on in the second half, scoring 21 points in the second half to retake the lead and win this game 27-23. When it was all said and done, Packers led the second half defensive stands. Parsons was a big part of that. He was big in this game. But another, late heartbreaking loss for the Cardinals, who just can't seem to get on the winning side of things. Cardinals have lost 3 straight games after leading by 7 or more points entering the fourth quarter. So, again, part of me is like, is this about the Cardinals or is this about the Packers? And we kind of know that the Cardinals aren't a team that's going to be competitive when it's all said and done. This was more a game for the Packers that, like, it was weird to see them being kind of slow out of the gate and not getting into this. Down 20-13 late in the third quarter. Finally Jordan Love got a shot to took a shot from Budda Baker, which he ended up again on a scramble, kind of getting hit a little bit in this game too. So I don't know if that was part of it, just some of the pressure that kept coming up in this one. But either way, the defensive side of the football kept the Packers in it. Micah Parsons, like I said, had 3 sacks, 10 pressures, and generated 10 pressures in this one too. So he was like a one-man wrecking crew on that defensive line. So he was really solid in this one. But the Cardinals dropped to 2-5, back in their division. Green Bay 4-1-1 on the season, which, again, if you're playing some subpar football, if you're Green Bay, you'll take that as long as you're getting the wins. There's a few teams like that in the NFL. So, all right, let's move on. And quarterback controversy in Arizona. Tay, I will say, Jacoby Brissett, he kind of does that, doesn't he? Like, doesn't he do this wherever he is? He did it kind of in New England, right? When he was kind of coming in and being the backup, and or there was some stints there as well. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's been a guy where he's just a good backup for like 3 or 4 games, and then he falls off. Then he falls off a cliff. So, like, let's say they're not going to get away from Kyler, I don't think. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be playing. But tongue-in-cheek, quarterback controversy, you could make an argument a little bit. But, yeah, Jacoby Brissett does this everywhere he goes, doesn't he? It's kind of what he does. Part of it. But, yeah, Cowboys and Commanders. Let's get into this one. So, Cowboys and Commanders. The Cowboys... I saw that there were some injury reports for the Commanders where they were missing all of their offensive weapons in this one. They were missing Debo. They were missing Terry McLaurin at the late scratches, which flipped the line in this game pretty quickly. This one went from the Dallas Cowboys being underdogs to all of a sudden them being favorites real quick. And then that just kind of fueled everything else. The Cowboys offense, we haven't had any issues with the Cowboys offense, right? And this game was no exception. The Cowboys offense looked good. It's the defense that always struggles, and the defense actually did in comparison to what they've been doing, played pretty well. I believe there's a pick 6 in this one as well. Deron Bland returned for a touchdown, interception for the Cowboys, so that helped fuel a little bit and helped the offense out. But Dak Prescott was huge in this one. CeeDee Lamb, 74-yard touchdown in the first quarter. Jake Ferguson, a pair of touchdowns in the red zone. George Pickens contributed to some key plays. So it was just overall a really solid game offensively for the Dallas Cowboys, who took advantage at home against a team that was just beat up and couldn't quite compete with the firepower of the Cowboys. So Prescott finished afternoon 21 of 30, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. So he had a good game. Certainly one of the better offenses in the NFL right now. Now that CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, all of them firing on all cylinders. Like, it's Dallas. I mean, and coming into Denver, by the way, next week, Denver plays Dallas, or the next game that they play is at home. Dallas flying in for this one. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to be interesting to see how Denver deals with the offense of the Dallas Cowboys, because we'll get into this. The offense of Denver cannot dig themselves holes against a team that put up, again, 44 points today and are continuing to put up points. It's not going to be pretty. Dak Prescott had 3+ touchdown passes, 0 interceptions in 4 straight games, setting a new Cowboys franchise record. The return of Javonte. Let's go. Not super thrilled that Javante's having like such a great season, but the Broncos running game is all right. But you know, it's like an ex-girlfriend, you know? Ex-girlfriend goes to gets a new boyfriend. You don't necessarily want to see him necessarily succeed. You don't wish ill upon him. But at the same time, you're like, can you just not like do better? And Javante's doing better there. The revenge game. Yeah, the revenge game is on the horizon. Look, our defense didn't let up 30. That's true. You're not wrong.
True.
So yeah, Cowboys got a big win. The Commanders 3-4, Dallas 3-1 on the season. So little log jam there, but Dallas trending up in the right direction. If their defense can hold in, Dallas could all of a sudden start turning things around pretty quickly. By the way, looking ahead at that game, was the spread on the Dallas Denver game. Denver Broncos 3-point favorites at home against the Dallas Cowboys. Not gonna lie, I like Dallas +3 a lot. I like Dallas +3 quite a bit. Sorry. Hope Daniels is okay though. Yeah. All right, let's get to the next one here. Let's keep cruising along through some of these games. We got the Colts and the Chargers. This game wasn't particularly as close as the score indicated. This was one of those late window games where I kept looking up and I kept seeing the score of this game. And I was just like, the Colts just keep piling it on. They just keep adding, piling it on top. I mean, the first quarter was pretty close. 6-3 after 1. Then the second quarter happened where Indianapolis scored 17 unanswered points to go into halftime with a pretty substantial lead. So what is it? 23-3, I think, at halftime. Pretty rough. Chargers couldn't necessarily dig out of that one. Third quarter explosion for both teams that really put a lot of points on the board. The Chargers come out scoring 14. Indy scored 15. So almost 29 points scored between both these teams in the third quarter. But in the end, Indianapolis improves to 6-1 on the season. Los Angeles Chargers 4-3 and 2-2 at home. JT's unstoppable. Simplified offense for Indiana Jones. Formula's working. It is. I mean, right now, Daniel Jones doing everything they ask of him in this one. And I mean, through the air, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, doing what he needs to do. I mean, you can't ask for much better than what he's been able to do. I mean, I saw, I don't know, these like transformations, like throw your best, like, from zero to hero transformations. I mean, he's got to be one of them. Like all those memes of like going from like this really ugly thing to this amazingly beautiful thing. Like, what was that? Scary Movie. Did you guys see that movie, Scary Movie? The original one, Doofy, where Doofy's getting out of, he's like that, just completely just messed up, like not all there character. And then at the end, he's walking down out of the building after, he gets away with everything he's gotten away with, and he just sheds the hat and, all the crazy clothes, and he just turns into this like amazingly gorgeous dude, and he's like got this fancy car and a girlfriend, and it's like that's pretty basically what Daniel Jones is. He's Doofy that turned into something incredible, and the Colts are what they are now. 6-1. They're going to continue to roll as long as he's playing some good football. Their offense is unstoppable, steamrolling Chargers on the road. I mean, Jonathan Taylor ripping off runs. Another 3 touchdown day makes the Colts like just feel like they're like, who can slow down this team? I mean, even the Broncos defense, which pretty good over the course of the first few weeks of the season, had troubles with this Colts offense. So crazy to think that, I mean, the Colts are doing what they're doing. Taylor has 3 or more 3+ rushing touchdown games in 2025 than the rest of the NFL combined. There's 2 others, 2 by rookies. Quinshawn Judkins, who had a 3 touchdown game today, and Scatabo, who had it in week 6. Taylor has 10 rushing touchdowns over his last 5 games. Last player with 10 plus touchdowns over a 5-game span was himself in 2021. I don't know why I just got deja vu of saying a stat like that like a year or 2 ago. Didn't he? Yeah, like I feel like when I said that, it's kind of crazy to think that that's continuing to happen. But here we are. Original with Carmen Electra. Yeah, that's maybe that. And Kathleen Richardson, SDG, getting the last mixed name. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's just like, or what is that? Where like the movie of the girl that's like in overalls and painting and glasses, and then like all of a sudden turns into this like supermodel, right? What's that movie? It's one of those like teen heartthrob movies from like the 90s or 2000s or something. What movie was that? I don't know. Crazy. Chargers struggling, and I figured they would struggle in this game because their offensive line is just battered. Chargers dropped to 4-3 in this one, and still ahead of the Raiders in the bottom, but kind of sandwiched between those Denver Broncos, baby. Let's go. All right, let's move on. Speaking of the Broncos, this might be the one we spend the most time on, obviously, because I don't have Rec to talk about the Steelers, and I don't have Scotty to, talk about those Kansas City Chiefs for like the entire show. So I get to be on my soapbox for one time, all to myself. So here we are. Where do I start? I'll start by taking a drink of my beer here because I was doing a lot of that during this game. This was one of the worst games of my life for a portion of this, and one of the best games that I've watched in recent memory for a portion of this. And there's no in between. Like, there was like, it was either I was sitting on the couch depressed for 3 quarters, and I was jumping out of the room by the end of this game on cloud 9, thinking this was one of the craziest, most fun games I've ever watched. And I still am processing the numbers coming out of this game were mind-boggling, to say the least. The Broncos started out in this game for the first 3 quarters scoring 0 points. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck am I watching? I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, halfway through the third quarter, I wonder what Jarrett Stidham looks like and if he could throw the ball down the field. Because so far in this game, we can't do anything. And when dark thoughts cross your mind and you're thinking Jarrett Stidham is your savior in a game that you're down 19-0, and then you enter the fourth quarter with no hope whatsoever, you're just like, okay, we're going to lose the Giants and Jackson Dart and Scadaboo in this game. And I'm like, what world am I living in that this is? I mean, I was speechless. The Giants led 26-8. 26-8 with 6 minutes left in the game. Bo Nix. We can't score points. Offense is the issue all season long, and we're down 26-8 with 6 minutes left. Are we going to win this game? No shot. Not a shot. Yet, somehow, some way, we defied the odds. Those odds, NFL teams had won 1,602 straight games when leading by 18 points in the final 6 minutes. Figure that one out. One of the best comebacks ever. So all of this started coming back over the course of the fourth quarter with 1:51 left. The Broncos took the lead in this game. And here's the thing. The biggest thing was that when the Broncos scored, they ended up getting a quick turnaround and scoring off of a interception. Which, well, they didn't score. They had an interception on Jackson Dart late in this game, which was basically the game changer because the defense did not look good in this game either. The defense had 2 big, really awful plays where they had blown coverage on one in the back end of the secondary and a blown coverage, just blocking from on the line where the New York Giants had a free run to the end zone. So there's 2 really bad plays by the defense. So defense, not great in this game. Offense, not great in this game. The turning point was once the Broncos scored, they were able to get another turnover or get a turnover on Jackson Dart and have amazing field position. Scored on that one. And there were some weird plays. There was some like plays where a ball bounced off a wide receiver's hands and got caught by another wide receiver on both teams that led to touchdowns. So one for the Giants, one for the Broncos. Kind of lucky plays in the right place at the right time. So that was kind of fluky. That was weird. There was just a lot of strange things. But all 33 points in this game came in the fourth quarter. Also helping the Broncos was the fact that the New York Giants missed 2 extra points, which would have made the Broncos have to score a touchdown at the end of this game. That was a whole nother aspect of wrinkle in this whole thing of two extra points. When's the last time you see 2 extra points get missed by the same team that end up coming into play at the end of the game? Like, that was crazy. Like, there was just too many weird things going on in this game. In the end, the Broncos end up giving up a touchdown late in this game. And with that extra point miss, let the Broncos have one opening to finish this game instead of going to overtime. So the Giants could have gone up 33-30 at one point and choked away, giving the Broncos a great opportunity. Now, let me talk about this last drive. The last drive was what I expect to see the whole game. I don't know why the Broncos do this to themselves, where they have some of their best plays in comeback scenarios. This is the second comeback that we've seen in recent weeks where the Broncos had to dig themselves out of a hole, and when they were doing it, they looked good because Bo Nix was stretching the ball down the field. And he looked good in this last drive to get them in a position to win this game and get in field goal range, and Lutz winning the game with the field goal. Why can't we do that in the first 3 quarters of the game? Bo Nix missed. I have notes right here saying like the first half. I mean, I'm going through my notes on my phone and I'm looking, and it's like disaster end of the first half. Another overthrow. There's another overthrow. There's more of those. More throws to the flats. Dart looks more dynamic. New York taking more chances downfield. Like, these are the notes that I'm taking throughout this game, and none of them are positive about how our offense can compete in some of these games. Passes of 20-plus air yards this season. In the first half of this game, they showed this stat. 4 of 18 for Bo Nix, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 0 for 4 on the day today. And I'm just thinking to myself, is Bo Nix it? I know Scotty doesn't believe in him. That's fine. But, like, what's holding Bo Nix back? Is it the play calling? Because the play calling down the stretch felt good. The execution down the stretch felt good. So where was that in the first half? Why are we throwing to the flats? Why are we throwing such short balls? That like, why aren't we doing some of these things that we know he potentially could do? Is it Bo Nix? Is it I don't know. I have more questions than answers after this game. All I know is, are there issues with this team offensively? Yes. One way or another, there's something happening here. But did we get a crazy win at the end of this game that it had me losing my mind? That can be true too. And that's what happened in this game. And it was the most electric game that I've watched the Broncos play. Was it stressful? Yes. Did I want to... I don't smoke, but I wanted to rip a cigarette at the end of this game. I wanted to go outside and just be like, I'm done. I need to just take a breath. Coach does not trust Bo Nix. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, there was multiple overthrows in this game, so the accuracy is an issue. But it's a tale of two halves, or a tale of 3 quarters in the fourth quarter. That's another thing. Bo Nix can make plays in the fourth quarter. He's proven that a couple times this season. So there's something to that. I would rather have a quarterback make plays at the end of a game than plays in the first 3 quarters of a game and not at the end. That's what we had with Russ. Russ couldn't do anything at the end of the game, but he could do stuff in the first 3 quarters. So like I said, I don't know what we're getting here, but all I can say is we got something, I guess. Like, let's go. I guess.
Fucking go.
Like,
Let's go. I guess.
So, I don't know. But it was a good win for the Broncos. They needed it. It was a good pick-me-up game. They did the Demaryius Thomas thing. You know, they honored him in the Ring of Fame, so that was great. Great story. All the legends were there. You would think they'd put on a better show for the legends. But the Broncos today became the first team in NFL history to score 33-plus points after being shut out for the first 3 quarters. And this is just, like, that stat right there tells the story of the Broncos this season. It just tells the story of what this team is. Because it's been a ride. I'll tell you that. Let's ride. Dude is proud. Chase the protester. His Giant fan was pro-Trump. Yeah. I couldn't watch the second half. Giants kicker gave the Broncos the win. I mean, that was a major aspect of this game, Canada. That was a major aspect. Bo Nix could be comeback player of the year just based on this game. Comeback. He was definitely comeback player of the game. Chris doesn't believe. I mean, I want to believe. I want to. I don't know. I spent 3 quarters, or I spent in the third quarter thinking Jarrett Stidham is our answer. And then we have the craziest comeback, one of the craziest comebacks you could possibly imagine. Now, there was a point here. I mean, there was some late penalties. There was some crazy things that took place late in this game. I do think that the Giants are a team that don't know how to close games. I think that's also a thing. Kicking, special teams was an issue. Being able to close a game is something that you should, from your coach, from everything else. You have a young quarterback on the road in a hostile environment. A coach that is trying to get the most out of this team that's maybe, not performed well over the last couple years. They just didn't know how to close that game out. To melt that game away was crazy. So it was a combination of a lot of things. I still don't know how to explain all of it top to bottom. But 43-40 comeback against Dallas next week, says Tay. Maybe if my heart can take it, I'll take it. What we do know is go Broncos. That's true. Daboll knows a thing or two about fourth quarter shutouts. He was the OC for the Bills in the 13 set. Yeah. That's, you're not wrong there. 13 seconds was on the D. Oh no, Leslie Frazier. Hopefully flag football becomes an official high school sport in Indiana. Okay. Flag football's everywhere. From my standpoint, it's okay. You can't close it out. I don't believe in Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton needs to trust Bo a little bit more. Again, some of my notes. Oh, by the way, penalties were bad. But that's a coaching thing. I think there's some things that do fall on the coach's shoulders. Penalties were bad in some aspects of this game. Some of the play calling and some of the in part of this, throwing the ball into the flats and just not trusting Bo to throw. Like, if you can do it in pressure situations, you can do it in regular situations. We have one of the best offensive lines in protection in the NFL. You have to figure it out. By the way, they started out this game. I made a note. They started out this game like 3 straight pass plays to start. Like, it's just, they just weren't it. At the beginning of the game, Bo looked like Tebow. At the end, the Broncos looked like Tebow was there, great for DT. Why not run the ball up 10 with 5 minutes left and not throw that interception? Good question. I think the game management with how they went about this game. The Broncos had to clock the ball with 2 seconds left because they didn't have any timeouts. And that could be, the Giants weren't smart with how they closed this game out. Yeah, Canada. It was a wild game. You know who else should be running more? Denver. Yeah, Denver didn't they lean on Bo, but they don't. They put the ball in Bo Nix's hands to throw the ball. But they don't trust him to throw the ball downfield, or they don't trust him to make the big plays. And I don't understand why. I think it's like they're babying him I don't know. Anyways, we're going to see because we have a big game coming up against a bad defense. And so far, I told everybody this going into this game, and I'll be done talking about the Broncos. I'm taking up all the time that we typically talk about the Steelers and the Chiefs, and I'm talking about the Broncos. But it's my only opportunity, so I'm taking advantage. The Broncos coming up have the Cowboys, and I told myself, if the Broncos look good offensively against some of these defenses coming up in a slate where they have the Jets, 13 points.
Bruh.
Not great. The Giants, 0 points for 3 quarters, but 33 in a fourth quarter. Not ideal. And then the Cowboys, who have a terrible defense, which is getting better, it sounds like. I'm going to be a little concerned. And right now, I'm kind of like on a concerned red flag on this defense and on this offense. For a team that's 5-2, I still have some concerns. I want to see a game, a complete game. Not a fourth quarter, not a second half. I want to see a complete game before I can feel good about this offense. Nearly 6 yards per carry for JK, and you don't let him run it in. Come on, bro. I promise. Not fantasy. Yeah, I don't know if Sean Payton has a grasp of when to run versus pass versus let it loose. Like, I just don't know if he knows. It feels so clunky. I thought this was going to be a big game against bad defense. Yeah. Not quite. It was, I mean, the fourth quarter, if you count the fourth quarter, yeah. Defense did tighten up in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter was just a different game. But it was crazy finish, and I'm glad I was able to watch it live. Hey! Spectacle! Good to have you. How are you doing? How's your Sunday night? Hope you're having a great night. Who's your team and where you're from? Like to get to know you a little bit. Yeah, Giants defense is their defensive front is solid. Burns got banged up late in this game too, but Dart, yeah, he made a bad mistake. That interception is what turned the game. That interception in their own territory was what turned the game and gave this team life. When I saw that, I was kind of shocked. I was like, man, that was a gift. And Denver took advantage of it. I will say they won the game. They came back and they did what they had to do. Clutch play calling and execution by defense, offense, and everything down the stretch of that game. So, it is what it is. So, congratulations. Giants end up losing in this one, obviously. And they will take a 2-5 record going into week 8, their next game coming up. So, rough game for Giants fans, but what a thriller, though. This was as good of a game as you can ask for, given what we had with that Baltimore Buffalo game early on in the season, which was like game of the year, week 1, Sunday Night Football comeback. I mean, this was up there too. This was up there. The Broncos win probability was as low as 0.7 with 6 minutes and 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter, facing 4th and 3, trailing 26-8. It was the most improbable comeback of the season, 8th most improbable of the since 2016. So, wild shit. All right, so that's going to be the last game that we cover. 2-1, or I'm 1-2. Scotty's cruising, by the way. Scotty's 2-0 this week, so he's pulling away here and having a solid betting season. I'm kind of struggling. That Minnesota really crushed me. The fact that Carson Wentz goes into that game and has 6 red zone trips and 5 field goals and 1 touchdown. Come on, man. Minnesota needed to cover that, and they could have, and they didn't. So, felt bad about that one. New Orleans was just a misfire. So, could easily be 2-1. Obviously, I'm 1-2. And actually, no, I lost the Atlanta one too. So, there you go. It's just a rough go for me this week. But we'll get better next week. Scotty's rolling, so good. Big. Yeah, Hauser. Your boys let me down this week. It's all right. All good. So there you go. But that's gonna do it. I've been talking for about an hour and 15 minutes straight. I'm surprised you guys still are okay hearing me. Like I remember, you know what's crazy is I remember when we first started doing this show like 4 years ago, and I was like, how am I gonna talk for an hour and a half straight? I mean, how are people gonna be listening to me for this long? No one's going to want to do that. But here we are. You guys are still hanging out with me somehow, some way. And my voice is, or Rec and Scott argue. True. That is very true. True. So, you know, I somehow over the years have found a way to continuously be able to have you guys, you know, listen to my sweet, sweet voice for as long as you have. So thank you for being here, keeping me company. We don't have Rex cutting you off frequently. True. I need water. Like, I've been drinking beer here all night. Water's good. I do have a suggestion for a stream within the next month. STG, DM me. Let me know. I would love to hear it. We always love good streams or good suggestions. USA Thanksgiving time for another food draft. All right, we can do a food draft. Let's do another food draft. I'd be okay with that. We have to get creative with it, though. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna see who's out there. By the way, if you're new to the channel, we're gonna be breaking down week 8, and then we also are gonna talk some NBA on Wednesday. NBA season is starting very soon, and we want to be able to make sure you guys get your season preview. We'll do, even if it's a quick one. On Wednesday, we're going to talk some NBA off the top of the show. And then we're also going to get into week 8 of all of our top games in the NFL. And we're going to make sure we cover all the best games. We also have Monday Night Football tomorrow night, so you're going to want to keep an eye on those. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Detroit Lions play tomorrow, along with the Houston Texans visiting the Seattle Seahawks. Lions 5.5-point favorites. Seattle Seahawks 3-point favorites at home. STG, your boys, are they going to get it done? Who knows? Get a hydrate redeem. I need to maybe get that. Drink the water. Beer doesn't quite get it. Get the hydration. I don't think you've done fast food or grocery store chain draft. I think we might. We've done some close. We've done like best burger. Maybe. Did we do? No, we did fast food because I remember Taco Bell was up there. I remember like I think we did a fast food draft. I want to say, or maybe we do like chain restaurants, like sit down chain restaurants, like the Olive Gardens and the, you know, like those style of like not like fancy restaurants, but like, you know, the chains that are frequently out there. Sit down restaurants, great idea. Yeah, maybe we do that one. Chili's, Olive Garden, Applebee's, you know, all of those. I think we can get into some of those. There's a lot out there that we can go after. So yeah, there's also some regional ones too, right? There's some regional ones that you can like be specific with that like only certain people know. Cracker Barrel, Lazy Dog. There's a lot of them. We could figure out some. Let's do it. We'll make it happen soon. Let me see who we're gonna rate out here. So I can give my voice a rest because I've been, again, just chatting your guys' ears off for a while here. Let's see. I'm gonna go to. We're gonna send you to Colleen, I think. Yeah, we're going to send you to Colleen tonight. Colleen is going to... she's vibing on the keyboard right now. So she's going to give you some love. Unless there's a... And let me see if there's any sports streams, actually. Just see if there's anybody to keep the conversation going. Actually, we do have someone new here. Let's give this a try. Deputy Smitty is breaking down Sunday. Falcons had a tough loss. McCaffrey helped me beat Scotty in fantasy. So it's a bittersweet kind of night for you there, Hauser. By the way, thank you for Hauser and Piglet for being here tonight. W's in the chat for both of them. You guys are incredible. Colleen lives in the same city as USTG. There you go. All right. Shout out. You could go give her some love, when she plays live locally around. I don't know if she does that, but Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Okay. All right. Okay, well that's going to do it for us though. Or for me, I should say, cuz I've been running solo cuz nobody keeps me company, at least from my co-host and my mod. So, I'm going to let you guys go, get out of here, and have a great rest of your Sunday night into the early week. But thank you so much for being here. We will be back live, like I said, coming on Wednesday night. I'm going to send you over to Deputy Smitty. He's breaking down some of the replays of the games. So go give him some love. Tell him boys from Action Lab sent you, or the guy, Chris from Action Lab sent you. And he'll hopefully take that and run with it. Where is my credits? Get you guys all the love that you guys deserve. By the way, Spectacular, thank you for being here and given a follow. Thank you for the bits. To Hauser, thank you for Polo for the resub as well. You guys are incredible. Between now and Wednesday, go be a good person. Go live in the moment. We don't do that enough. Put down the phone. Enjoy the people and things around you and go be a good person. And we will see you on Wednesday. Love you guys.